Peace. Welcome, everybody, to the special bonus live stream. I don't know. What do we call this thing? It's a Monday, right? We haven't live streamed on a Monday in forever, darling. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Pumpkin Ziggy. Hi, Audrey. Oh, glad you made it. Hi, Aish. Glad you made it, too. Claudia von B. Irene. Nectarine Man, Ana Cristina Despina Velasquez, Robbie, Angie Unboxing, Ana Cristina Dorcia S. Oh my gosh, we got so many people in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in. Velasquez, Kate Moore, Michelle Jenna, Angie Unboxing, Brenda Romero, Olivia Pope's Dada, Stacy, Corina, Luke, Sibylla. Wow, Hershey Boy. Oh my gosh, so many people. Thank you so much for tuning in so short notice. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Terry. Teresa McGuire with the new wrench. Terry's the new mod. Hi, Terry. Landfari, good morning. Good morning to you too, sweetie. Audrey says, like the stream, guys. Let people know we are streaming. Yes, thumb up the live stream and let people know. Hi, Claire Bear. Good morning to you too, sweetie. It's a live stream that happens now without unprecedented, right? I mean, it's not like I was planning to live stream again on a Monday. I was exhausted after the Saturday pre-show and the main shows. So usually on a Sunday, I'm a zombie. But this Sunday, I was a zombie, but I was a zombie that was collecting new intel and new information about Virginie Viard, Chanel, Bruno Pavlovsky, Leena Nair, the whole sitch, the situation as we call it here, the sitch, the entire who she was leaving, is she leave, did they fire her, did she leave, what will go, well, we got new intel. And there's many reasons that I want to talk to you about this because, first of all, I've had I've read so many really, really nasty and negative comments about Virginie Viard since the announcement of her departure. I mean, Chanel calls it departure, separation, whatever have you. I have my theory now, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. But thumb up the live stream, by the way. And it's been violent. It's been disgusting. I think, a lot of these Oompa Loompa wannabe influencers have nothing to do with fashion, but they think they do. And now, they wouldn't dare speak out so vehemently against Virginie Viard while she was the artistic director at Chanel. But now that she has left, they feel like they have the seal of approval to smear her, to drag her through the mud. I mean, this is really, really, to me, an old school, witch hunt, witch prosecution. This is what is going down now. A woman has left a really, really high position. Chanel is the best brand you could possibly work for as an artistic director. And I imagine, if it were a man who had left, they would not be dragging a man through the mud like they are dragging a woman through the mud. And I find it so disgusting. I mean, beneath any level of, it's just not human at this point. And some of these people have huge platforms. They're invited by the fashion world to be front row at fashion shows. They're invited to special events. They're gifted clothes, outfits, and they're not behaving like total jerks, mean girls, or bullies, really. Now they think, now that Chanel and Virginie have parted ways, they have the right to be douchebags, right? And to say whatever they want about her, because now it's okay to do that because, she's no longer at Chanel, so they're not worried that they might offend Chanel in a way. So if they were to offend Chanel, Chanel would not invite them to events, would not give them freebies. So they were just playing, behaving in one, so eighth grade, says Robbie. I mean, so beneath humanity, really. So they were behaving in a way, this just shows you how fake they are. This just shows you how fake these people are, because they just do however the wind blows. They change their voice. However the wind blows, they change their opinion, and they're the mob. Now they are the mob coming for this woman who I think I wish Virginie Viard would come forth and give an interview and talk and publicly say something, because quite frankly, we should know. The public needs to know what really is going down here. And from the latest intel that I've gathered, it's going down. Corina says, thank you for bringing us breaking news. Thank you, Corina. Thank you. Thank you for listening and tuning in. Also, so short notice. Oh, Despina, thank you. Despina says, you look beautiful, Dacob. Thank you, guys. Detective Dacob says, Kate Moore. And the Nectarine Man says, first, can we talk about the upcoming trailer you put on your last upload? Great work. Oh, thank you, Nectarine Man. Yeah, it was like, it needs to be intense. People need to know. One of the reasons I believe, of course, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. I do believe, in my opinion, that Chanel is trying to own the narrative of this departure. You see, what I think is going on here is Chanel is trying to dampen the blow and make it appear as if everything's okay. Everything was planned to go the way it's going. Business as usual. No, I don't buy that for a minute. I don't buy that for a minute. Chunky Shoes UK watching from on the bus. Oh, sweetie, I'm so happy you're watching us from the bus. Don't miss your stop. Though Angie Unboxing says, love the whole look and background. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yep, the most squeaky wheel is the problem, right, Angie? Morning, Dacob. Great surprise to see you. Hi, Carmen. Thank you. Great to see you, too, in the chats. Hi, Daisy Dior. Just got done watching your prior video. Couldn't talk about better timing, right? And I understand that, Keith Jr., how's it going, sweetie? Can Louis Vuitton please fire Nicolas Ghesquière and put Virginie as women's creative director instead? I just want Virginie back at Chanel, you guys. That ain't going to happen. Now, but we're going to touch base on all the intel that I've gathered today. And you know how the fashion world works in mysterious ways, and it moves very fast, very, very quickly. And this is why we're making this video today, because I don't want to give Chanel the opportunity to own the narrative. I want people to have an outlet on my channel to also hear another side of the story. You know, because otherwise, if we stay silent and if we don't do some digging and some research and we don't share all of the results that we found, then they will own the narrative. Plus, in addition to that, if you add up all of the nasty comments that a lot of these, you know, nasty content creators have been leaving against Virginie Viard, it all makes it sound to, you know, a viewer that is kind of just randomly tuning into this drama unfolding, it appears as though it's a good thing that Virginie Viard has been given the chopper, as many people are saying online. And I'm like, hold on a minute, you people. Nobody has officially stated that Virginie Viard was given the chopper, nor has it officially been stated that she left on her own accord or on her own will. But what we do know thus far is that I was telling you just in yesterday's live stream, well, there's a bit of an issue here. I mean, you know, in France, if you're giving somebody a contract and she's been working for Chanel for like, you know, 4 decades practically at this point, almost, give or take a year. Now, they either gave her 2019 when Carl passed away, they either gave her a 1-year contract to be renewed yearly, or they gave her a 5-year contract or a 10-year contract. Had they given her a 1-year contract, that would have expired February of 2024. So then that means they would have renewed the contract in March. That means March, April, May, June. That's not long enough for her to say in June 5th, how symbolic, number 5 on the 5th of June, to announce the departure from Chanel. But you see what I'm saying? Like, her contract would not have expired in June. We don't know, but it just doesn't make sense for me. I don't think that they made a contract for her after Karl Lagerfeld passed away. I don't think that they waited so many months after Karl's passing. If he passed in February, why would they wait until June 2019 to give her the first contract? Maybe they did, but I don't think so, because they announced her as the new artistic director right after Karl passed away in February of 2019. So her her tenure, her contract either would have ended in February or March. Maybe they gave her the contract already in January. So either January, February, or March of 2024, but not in June. Had they given her a 5-year contract, that would have ended also in January, February, or March of 2024, not in June. Had they given her a 10-year contract, that would have ended 5 years from now. I don't think they gave her a 10-year contract. You never know. But what I'm trying to say here is it looks very suspicious. Now, it doesn't seem like her contract ended and then they said we're not going to renew it anymore. Bruno Pavlovsky, in an interview right after the Marseille Cruise Collection 2024/2025 stated how she's doing so great at Chanel, how he loves her at Chanel. We should record, yes. Let me just do an intro. Hi, Corey. How's it going? I feel sorry for her, to be honest. She has dedicated so much of her life to the house and the monstrous responsibility of stepping into Carl's shoes and always being compared to him and his work. Yes, definitely. Definitely. So let's, gosh, so complicated. Let's record this. Yeah. Hold on. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we got news on Virginie Viard's leaving Chanel. Or was she kicked out? Was there beef? Was there fighting? Let's get to it. First, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Here on the tubes, push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today, get access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob, all spelled together there as well for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week. Come join me, come join the fun and the live chats. Hello, co-chatters. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. So you guys, I'm making yet another update on this situation because the fashion world moves really fast and you always get new news coming out on a daily basis. And when Chanel announces the departure of an artistic director, that happens once in a blue moon, you best believe all eyes are on Chanel. Chanel being the most famous fashion house that everybody and their mothers and grandmothers and dead aunts want to be artistic directors of. Like, that is the position you want. So all of the designers are coming out of the woodwork, trying now on social media to post how they, in between the lines, if we read it, how they want to become artistic directors of Chanel. But that aside, let's focus on Virginie Viard and the new intel that I got. So quick update. I was saying to announce her departure on the 5th of June of 2024 makes no sense. I don't believe that her contract would have expired. Here's Virginie Viard. I think we can blend her in as soon as I find the picture. That's our lovely Virginie Viard. There she is. And announcing the departure on June 5th, 2024 would have meant that they gave her either a yearly contract or a 5-year contract renewed on a yearly basis every 5 years. That would have expired more or less 2024, either February, January, or March, not in June. So that means that she either was kicked out or she decided, you know what, I'm done with you guys. I don't want to do this anymore. But why would she say she doesn't want to do this anymore? And this is the intel that I just got. And by the way, I'm filming this live stream right around the time when, if you watch this later, I'm just explaining to you, I'm filming this on purpose, actually, a little bit in this time zone frame. For whoever's watching me live, you know, you understand it's a weird time for me to live stream. It's a specific time because this is when the offices open up in Paris. And it's Monday as I'm filming. So I'm waiting for some news from Chanel. So while we're live streaming, it could happen that some breaking news adds up to whatever I already have collected as intel, as breaking news, and we might have some new breaking news coming in. I just wanted to be live streaming right in the moment when Chanel offices open up on a Monday, because they announced her departure on a Wednesday. Then we had the week, which is usually very PR. You announce it closely to the weekend, and then the weekend everybody's zipping it and zooing it. They're planning what their next move is, and then on Monday, new news come out. So we are waiting to hear what the Monday news from Paris bring. Now, the intel that I found, so here's what I want to share with you. Very fascinating. It is the from the fashionpost.com forums, misstweed.com posted, Viard's exit signals crisis at Mighty Chanel. And I want to say, what an article. What an article. And I want to thank Kev, one of our lovely mods and supporters of the Fashion Bunker, for having sent me this article. And I'm going to read a couple of snippets that are highlighted from this article. And thank you, Kev, so much for, being on top of the world always when it comes to these news. So basically what we got here, you guys, listen to this, as reported by Miss Tweed, who later on I found out was allegedly blocked from attending any Chanel shows by Bruno Pavlovsky himself. Allegedly. Shit's going down. So, Ms. Tweed says, the fact that the statement was issued at midnight, Paris time, mind you, we're talking about the June 5th statement that Chanel issued, and the statement saying Virginie Viard is parting ways with Chanel, right? That statement was issued at midnight Paris time. That means that it came from New York, not from Paris. It came from New York, where Alain Wertheimer lives, Chanel's executive chairman and controlling shareholder. That's where he is based. Hence, Wertheimer is the one who let Viard go. Not CEO Leena Nair in London or Bruno Pavlovsky, who is in charge of Chanel's fashion and is based in Paris. Interesting. So now what I'm thinking here is, again, I think Virginie left. I don't think that they fired her. This is the breaking news, I think, and this is the shocker. I think she left. I think something must have pushed her so far to the brink that she was like, you know what, you guys? No. Here is where I draw the very clear line in the sand, and we're done. And the fact that she did not go to Leena Nair, Miss HR, Unilever, that has nothing to do with fashion and never will, in my humble... Girl, go sell soaps with Unilever. The fact that she did not go to Leena, but to Wertheimer himself, to be like, I'm leaving for this and this reason. She probably also said why she wants to leave. So Wertheimer now, latest now, knows. Maybe he always knew. We don't know. Maybe he always knew what the issues were. Why would the Wertheimer brothers even hire her, is my question, if they're not planning to gear up to sell the company? Because their kids are allegedly not really into Chanel. So they're like, well, we got nobody to inherit the business. Let's just sell it. So let's hire Miss Thing here, and she's going to, prep the company for a sale. But Miss Thing keeps repeating, no, we're not prepping for a sale. We like to be independent by being privately owned as a company, meaning we don't have shareholders. We don't have to respond to anybody. But let's read the article further. Hence, Wertheimer is not the one who let Viard go, not CEO, Wertheimer is the one who let Viard go, not CEO Leena Nair in London or Bruno Pavlovsky in Paris. Pavlovsky has done his best to prevent Viard from leaving. In recent interviews, he strongly supported her work and rejected the possibility of her exiting. It is clear that Viard left the brand on her own initiative, says the article. This is Bruno Pavlovsky, by the way. This is Chanel's Uncle Fester. I don't know what else to call him at this point. Allegedly. It is clear that Viard... So this is what the article says, you guys. Miss Tweed says it is clear that Viard left the brand on her own initiative. She had had enough says the article. Industry sources say she had had enough. She believed it was time to move on as Chanel was undergoing a generational management change and is currently suffering from an unprecedented drop in sales. Sales that Blondieu, another one of the heads of at Chanel, was stating, no, sales are great. We got 16% growth. And then he slipped. Do you remember in the Vogue interview a couple of weeks ago? He's like, yeah, we got unprecedented sales. We got 16% growth, of which 9% is due to a price change and 7% due to volume. And everybody was like, did you just say your 16% growth? So are you like cooking the numbers in your books? Did you just tell us that your growth for 2023, 16% growth, was due to price increases? 9% of that growth was due to price increases? Okay. He's like, he bit his own tail there, didn't he? So here's a sign of the revolution. Let me blend in Virginie Viard. Hello, sweetie. Viard's departure is a sign of the revolution Chanel is going through under the leadership of CEO Leena Nair, a former Unilever human resources boss who started in January 2022. As Miss Tweed reported in January, Nair has been pushing many of the brand's old guard out from Chanel. In the past year, such movements have created tension internally at the company, once known for being a job for life place. You don't leave Chanel, you die at Chanel. People in the industry used to say, because the conditions were fabulous, people working for Chanel while Karl Lagerfeld was there loved it. They stayed until they retired. That was kind of what Chanel was famous for. That was also one of the biggest reasons why that was one of the biggest reasons why Chanel had such a big reputation, such a good reputation in the fashion world, because of the stability, because people loved it. People who were working for Chanel did not want to leave from Chanel. People who were working for Chanel loved working for Chanel and spent their entire working lives and careers at Chanel. It's a big deal, you guys, when somebody at the level of Virginie Viard, who has been almost like 4 decades at Chanel, just like that, gone. And we have, just in a couple of weeks, the Haute Couture fashion show coming up, which she obviously designed and created. Is she going to show up at the show? Is she not going to show up? Are they begging her now to please, like, don't ruin the reputation and blah, 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 show up at the end of the show, bow out gracefully at the end of the show? And then I wouldn't. I don't know if maybe Virginie's more patient and maybe Virginie can suck it up more. Maybe Virginie is more like, you know what, let me be a lady till the bitter end, sure. Why would she, though? Why would she allow Leena Nair to win? You know, it's a clear statement for me, personally, if Virginie was like, I'm done, I'm out, I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. Maybe some of her colleagues who were also her friends were also let go by Leena Nair in these past 2 years since Leena Nair took over as CEO of Chanel and started firing everybody. Or making it look like they are retiring, which is usually corporate lingo for you were forced to retire, you were forced to leave. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know, but allegedly, of course, but this is kind of the vibe that it's giving me. And I love the fact that she's so strong and like she's like, no, you're not going to make it look like retired. You're not going to make it look like everything's okay. No. I'm going to disrupt the situation. I'm not going to give, although I wish Virginie would give interviews about the situation. I don't see her doing that. She's never been egotistical in her behavioral patterns. She was always very professional, bows out at the end of every show, leaves and doesn't do interviews. You know, very rarely does she do interviews. But to me, this is the most disruptive moves that she has made, like saying, I'm leaving now, right before the show. And let's see if she bows out at the end of the upcoming Haute Couture fashion show at Chanel, or if she doesn't. If she does not appear on the runway at the end of the runway of the Haute Couture show and does not bow down and say goodbye, then you know that that's a statement. Then we have to read between the lines what she actually has to say. I'm still very appalled and disgusted by all those wannabe influencers out there, wannabe people who know something about fashion but know nothing about it, throwing shade at Virginie Viard. I find that vile. You've been all licking boots at Chanel. Everything was fine as long as she was working for Chanel, but and you were hoping you're going to get invited to the shows and get freebies. But now that she's gone from Chanel, you think you can burn her at the stake like a witch. This is a witch prosecution. This is a witch hunt, if I've ever seen one myself. Fashion style wise, but it is, in my humble opinion. And now you're all showing your true faces, you fake ass morons, behaving like, oh, now we can throw shade at Virginie, we can burn her at the stake on social media because it's okay, because Chanel is not going to punish us for doing so. We're still going to be in the good graces of Chanel, meaning we, the influencers, can still get invited to the shows, we can still get freebies. Well, not this content creator out here. I'm defending her. I'm one of the rare ones on YouTube. I think I'm the only one who's actually defending Virginie. And justly so. She deserves defending. She did a wonderful job at Chanel preserving the heritage and the DNA of Chanel. Nobody can do it like she can. And she also knows how to dress women. You can say whatever you want. You wanted to have the hocus pocus theatricality, the drama of a Karl Lagerfeld show. That wasn't Chanel. That was Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel. That was his ego first. The drama of Karl Lagerfeld first, ex-Chanel. What this lady did Coco Chanel by Virginie Viard. Not Virginie Viard ex-Chanel. She respected the line, the tradition of Chanel like nobody else. And she put her ego aside to create comfortable clothes for women. And women loved it. Period. And some of the ladies in the comments I've also read have been saying, yeah, sometimes, they don't style the fashion shows under Virginie Viard very well. So when I see the fashion show, I'm like, I'm not going to buy anything from this collection. But then when they see the collection hit the stores and they touch the fabrics, they see how the cuts are made, they try the stuff on, then they fall in love with the pieces. And if they don't buy them immediately, they're gone. They sell out and they're like, I missed out again. So don't underestimate how good Virginie Viard was at Chanel. And you'll see, mark my words, wait a couple of years when we look back at all of this situation. We're going to be so sad that she left because she did some wonderful job. Not all of her collections were top-notch, perfectly to the point. But then again, she got the task to do 5 years at Chanel, 10 collections a year. That's 50 collections in 5 years. What do you expect? Plus, of those 5 years, she had 3 years of pandemic to deal with lockdowns, materials, textiles not being delivered, not enough workers working to create the collection. Terrible situation the first 3 years of her leadership as the pandemic started as artistic director. And then right after the pandemic, Leena Nair is hired and starts messing with everybody at Chanel, allegedly. So the last 2 years that Virginie spends at Chanel was under Leena Nair. So you could imagine in all the 5 years that she spent at Chanel, first 3 were pandemic shit years, and the last 2 were Leena Nair years. I think it's a miracle that this woman lasted this long to begin with. You see what I'm saying here? So, think twice before you throw shade. And again, it's typical. We're throwing shade at a woman. If she were a man and left Chanel, everybody would be praising how amazing the job he did at Chanel. But because it's a woman, you wanna behave like total baboons here. It's vile. It's disgusting. And I'm not having it. Now, so the article continues. The next person to be pushed to retire by Leena Nair, is Anne Kirby, who has been running the brand's beauty and perfume empire for 6 years. And we quote, Chanel confirms that after 35 years with the house, Anne Kirby, president of Chanel Fragrance and Beauty, is retiring at the end of 2024. The brand told Ms. Tweed in an email on Saturday. Her departure comes as Chanel Beauty and Fragrance has been suffering from competition from other mega brands such as Dior and Hermès, and in China from homegrown brands. Isn't that interesting? Hold on, you guys. So after Kirby, the next high-profile exit, and here's another shocker that we're revealing in this video. Guess who is being speculated to get kicked out from Chanel next. Who do you guys think the next high-profile exit is probably going to be? You guessed it, Mr. Bruno Pavlovsky himself. Isn't that another shocker? Leena wants to get rid of everyone. I think Leena just wants to change her name to Coco Chanel. Leena just who's she going to fire next? The Wertheimers? So, this is alleged, obviously, but the next high-profile exit could be Pavlovsky himself. The Frenchman has been trying to undermine. Now, here's a plot twist. Allegedly, Mr. Bruno Pavlovsky has been trying to undermine Leena Nair since she started and has spent a lot of energy resisting her plan to change Chanel's corporate culture and organization. And again, I ask myself and ask you guys, why would they hire Leena Nair? Whose idea at Chanel was to hire Leena Nair? I'm sure the Wertheimer brothers asked Bruno what his opinion was. Why didn't he speak out when they asked him, like, hey, so should we hire this chick? Why didn't he say, oh, hell no? Like, I'm thinking, like Italians say, hai voluto la bicicletta, pedala bello. You wanted the bicycle? Now pedal. I'm not so sure if he didn't have a voice in the chapter in hiring Leena Nair to begin with, because if he's partially responsible for Chanel hiring her, well then, honey boo boo cha, what you complaining about her wanting to kick you out now? You asked for it. You're dying, ferret. Get off my back, as they say. So, but it's so interesting that this article says that Pavlovsky is resisting Nair's plan to change Chanel's corporate culture and organization. Pavlovsky is a powerful person in French fashion and sees himself as the king of the industry, the article says. He is chairman of the French Federation of Haute Couture and Fashion, and he's chairman of the Institut Français de la Mode, IFM, Foundation, and in 2021 he also created a Chanel chair at IFM dedicated to the arts and crafts. As soon as he departs Chanel, he would have to leave these positions as well. Hence, his exit would be a complex affair. And I do believe that Bruno, clever as he is, I'm sure he kind of found a way to get all these extra positions and jobs in the fashion world, just because just maybe, Bruno, I'm asking you this, Bruno, did you just maybe doubt Leena Nair's plans all along, so you wanted to save your butt, protect yourself, and kind of dig as many holes around you to protect yourself, like in Harry Potter, the Horcruxes, maybe you try to split yourself up in like 5 different or 4 different Horcruxes or whatever they're called. And, you were trying to kind of split yourself up so they cannot just say, okay, the one Bruno Pavlovsky is fired. No, you're like, well, you can't just fire me because I'm also responsible for this, and this, and you would have to fire me from all these positions first before you get to fire me from Chanel. You see what I'm saying? So maybe he kind of planned it out a little bit to protect himself just in case the Leena Nair plan or the Leena Nair hiring backfired for him. Is that clever? Isn't that clever? We allege and we speculate only. As soon as he departs Chanel, he would have to leave these positions as well. Hence, his exit would be a complex affair. Many would like to see him go. Would they now? Many would like to see him go, says the article. Pavlovsky is said to be an authoritarian figure who only does things his way and cannot take criticism. I can see that being a thing, allegedly. An example is the fact that he has barred Miss Tweed from attending Chanel's shows. Getting rid of him could take time. Also, much will depend on who the next creative director is and whatever that would mean for the brand. Chanel gave no explanation for its creative director's sudden departure, but it was clearly not planned, says the article. Now we're back to Virginie Viard. It is clear not planned. Usually fashion houses announce a designer exit after the last show and unveil the identity of his or her successor some days later. That's the usual shtick. That's how they usually do it. In this case, Chanel broke the news 3 weeks before the brand's haute couture show, which the brand said would still take place on June 25th at Paris Opéra Garnier. Also, it said Chanel confirms the departure of Virginie Viard after the news started leaking from staff. So, the only reason, apparently, according to this article, why Chanel even decided to officially go on record and say that Virginie departed is because staff started leaking the information. It is clear Chanel believed it was forced to announce her departure, the article says. The fact that the statement was issued at midnight Paris time means that it came from New York. This is the point that we've already read. Very, very fascinating. Very, very, very fascinating. So, Pavlovsky is said to be an authoritarian figure, right? Getting rid of him could also take time. Also, much will depend on who the next creative director is and whether that person is willing to work with Bruno Pavlovsky. And here the article says that Chanel is no longer untouchable. Wow. And they say Viard's exit became a pressing issue after Chanel's cruise collection on the rooftop of a Le Corbusier building in Marseille in early May. And the collection was lambasted on social media. People did not like it. It marked the first time a brand the size of Chanel was so harshly and openly criticized by the general public. I also criticized that collection. I found it really bad. Also, it was styled terribly. The backdrop of a gray, rainy sky did not help either with the collection. So it was a mess. It was a mess. Maybe if I looked at the pieces individually, touched the fabrics, maybe then I would change my mind. But the styling, I mean, Chanel in flip-flops, please. Like, no, would not go, would not go. Miss Tweed reported for many years Chanel has this amazingly powerful brand no one dared to attack. A former executive at a major online fashion retailer said, after this show, it became clear that Chanel was no longer untouchable. Like other creative people, Viard is ultra-sensitive and was badly bruised by the social media onslaught. And we're not sure about that. I mean, I'm sure Virginie is hurt by people saying what they're saying now after she left, like they're happy she left. I'm not happy you left, Virginie. And I'm here fighting for you. Okay. And I only fight when I really believe in a cause. Otherwise, no. So Chanel's management, but this is what the article states, Chanel's management supported her publicly. When it published its annual results last month, CFO Philippe Blondieu said Chanel's fashion business had more than doubled since she took over from Karl 2019. Collections can be more or less successful, Blondieu said. These things happen to any designer. Thank you for saying that. That is true. And for those of you who have been commenting in the past, oh, Dacob, but you're not even buying Chanel, so what do you want to say? First of all, I bought during Virginie Viard's, just to be very clear, you guys, I'm not just some random Oompa Loompa wanting to sprinkle his sauce into this trending topic. Chanel has been a trending topic for me all my adult life, first of all. Second of all, since Virginie Viard took over at Chanel, I have been consistently a client of Chanel during the pandemic and also during the terrible Leena Nair years. I have stopped purchasing their leather since 2 years. Coincidentally, their leather went really downhill ever since Leena Nair took over. Even earlier than that, but drastically since Leena took over. What a coincidence. But what I'm trying to say here is I have purchased more clothes from Chanel under Virginie Viard than I have under Karl. And at full price as well, not just on sale. So I am wearing Virginie Viard is not Leena Nair's cha. I'm wearing Virginie Viard's creations, clothes for Chanel. Under Virginie Viard, I have purchased prêt-à-porter. Under Virginie Viard, I have purchased jewelry, fine jewelry, costume jewelry. This is, by the way, the Métier d'Art, Le 19M collection. Okay, that just happened 2 years ago now, was it? Loved that collection. I also have a knitted jacket from that collection. I have since purchased, like I said, the fine jewelry, costume jewelry, prêt-à-porter, sunglasses, the eyewear, perfumes, beauty, the latest drop as well, the pebbled number 5 L'Eau, gorgeous bottle, cosmetics, shoes, everything. Everything. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Virginie Viard at Chanel. And I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Chanel. I'm not just some rando like a lot of these TikTokers out there who don't own one single piece of Chanel made under Virginie's directorship, but then they're like sprinkling their sauce without knowing what they're talking about. No. We are in a different level here. We're in a different position here. We know what we're talking about. So just to make that very clear, having just turned 62 years of age, Virginie Viard decided it was time to go. Industry insiders say the atmosphere at Chanel had become tense in recent months because of declining sales. The article alleges. Boutique directors from London to Shanghai say sales have fallen seriously since the beginning of the year. And do you remember just a couple of weeks ago, I made a video commenting the interview that Blondiau and Bruno Pavlovsky and Leena Nair gave to Vogue, where Blondiau he spilled the beans and said 2023, 16% growth due to 9% due to pricing and 7% due to actually more volume, right? And in that video, I very clearly said to you guys, Chanel is a privately owned company. It's not public. They don't have shareholders to answer to, which means they don't have to report their earnings on a quarterly basis. They don't have to. LVMH, which is a publicly owned company with shareholders, they report their earnings every quarter. That means every 3 months. That's a quarter. 1 year has 12 months. 1 quarter of the year is 1/4 of the year. The first 3 months, they do a report. Second 3 months, third 3 months, last 4 months. Chanel doesn't do that. So Chanel, when they choose to do so, they do a report on the past year or the past years, and they chose to tell us that 2023 saw the growth equaling 16%. And in that video, my remark to that comment was, who's cooking your numbers, A, and B, that's not what's going to happen in 2024, is it, Chanel? Because I'm really curious to see how your numbers are going to look in 2024, because that's where the cookie starts crumbling. But Chanel could possibly choose to not report their earnings for 2024 if they choose to do so, because they are a privately owned company. I think in France there's some sort of penalty you have to pay to the government or to the finances if you don't want to disclose publicly the numbers, which Chanel has been paying for many, many years in the past. So just letting you guys know that as well. Boutique directors from London to Shanghai say sales have fallen seriously since the beginning of the year. Last month, Blondiau warned that times would be tough, saying the industry was now entering a more challenging environment. The year 2024 may be the first year Chanel suffers a drop in revenue. In mainland China, revenue is said to be down by more than 27% since the beginning of the year, local industry sources say. Chanel reported a 16% rise in sales to $19.7 billion in 2023 compared to 2022, had it not sharply raised the price of its handbags over the past 5 years, like that of the 255 model, which rose by 95%. The brand's revenue would be in sharp decline, critics say, as these make up the bulk of the fashion business. On social media, customers have complained about the price hikes and become vocal about declining quality compared to years ago. They find the quilted leather to be thinner and the hardware and famous chain to be less resistant to time and to be less shiny than they used to be. The leather is a travesty, in my humble opinion. The last Chanel bag that I purchased was the 22 bag back in 2022. And it was a terrible choice to purchase that bag. It was the fuchsia colored, gorgeous color, beautiful bag from the Le 19M. I think it was that was it. That was the Le 19M collection. Well, it was the Métier d'Art collection. So I don't know if wait, did I purchase that from the Chateau des Dames or no, it was Le 19M. And so it was a Métier d'Art bag. I wore it 20 minutes. The leather started peeling. I kid you not, literally peeling. I was devastated. I got the bag for my birthday. I contacted that's actually 2 years to the day because I got it in June. I'm June baby here. I got it in June of 2022 and now we're in June 2024. And the bag, 20 minutes after I started using it, it started peeling. The leather was just like peeling. The fuchsia color peeled off. There was a weird, looked like bonded leather underneath. I made several videos on that topic where you can go check out those videos from 2022 where you see close-ups of the bag, close-ups of the peeling. And I contacted my sales associate immediately and I said, girl, no, this is a $5,000 plus bag. Back then it cost that much. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Dacob. Bring it back immediately. And that was an exception that Chanel made in terms of refunding me the money. They did not even try to give me a voucher. They did not even try with that bag to say, oh, you know what? We'll exchange it for a new one. They're like, okay, we're giving you your full money back because this is really not supposed to happen. And that was the last leather bag I bought from Chanel. But I continued buying fine jewelry from Chanel, costume jewelry from Chanel, beauty products, perfumes, apparel from Chanel. So just not leather anymore. But yeah, the fact that people are now finally realizing more and more that the quality is just not there anymore, good, because voice your concerns. Let the brand know you're not going to let them bully you into purchasing really expensive bags. I mean, these bags are now, in some cases, $12,000, $13,000, the leather ones, the Timeless Classic double flap in a maxi size. And you don't want it to just last one photo shoot for your Instagram selfie. Pardon me. You want it to last a little bit longer. You want this bag to live at least. I mean, Chanel bags used to be, the classic Chanel bags used to be a statement for the future. Like you get a Chanel bag and you pass it down to your kids. Okay. Now it's like you get a Chanel bag to take a selfie on Instagram because you can afford it. And then you buy a new one next week. I mean, that's not luxury to me. That's just waste, really. And it diminishes luxury completely to just a novelty, really. Chanel bags have now become a novelty, not luxury anymore, in my humble opinion. Viard worked with Lagerfeld for more than 30 years. She joined Chanel. So this part of the article is not completely correct. They say that she joined Chanel in 1987 as an intern and followed him to Chloe between 1992 and 1997. She joined him earlier than 1987. She did follow him to Chloe because Carl had a tenure at Chloe, and then when he stopped at Chloe, he took Virginie with him to Chanel. He never stopped doing Chanel in the 80s. He added Chloe on top of working for Chanel, and he took Virginie to do full-time Chloe with him. And then when he was done with Chloe, she was back with him at Chanel. Afterwards, the pair remained Chanel's main design duo until she became fully in charge in 2019. In 2017, as Carl became weaker, she started taking his final bow with her at the shows, preparing the ground for her to take over. For the Wertheimer family, it was always clear that Virginie Viard would succeed Lagerfeld after his death. She did a great job continuing the Kaiser's work, they say. Although her shows were never as pertinent or as grandiose as his, Lagerfeld asked for the impossible and obtained it every time. people who worked with him say. Another thing that I found out just today, you guys, I did not know, maybe you knew, but I'm sharing this information with you, is that allegedly Virginie Viard was one of 7 heirs of Karl Lagerfeld. And here I was thinking that all or most of his money was inherited by his cat Choupette. And I thought his boy toy, Giabiconi, who was also a model for him in the late years, I thought he would have given some money to Giabiconi as well. But I did not know that there were 7 heirs, one of them being the cat, and that one of the heirs is also Virginie Viard. So Karl allegedly left a substantial part of his fortune and his estate to Virginie after he passed away. And the Wertheimers, according to this article, were like completely clear that she's going to take over after Karl. So maybe they also thought she's going to keep doing, Chanel until she retires or until she's, gone from this planet. But at least I'm happy that she's safe. You know what I mean? Now that she left, she has the money at least, right? If she inherited 1/7, or if she's one of the 7 heirs, I don't know how he split the money, maybe not in equal parts, but if she's one of the 7 heirs of Karl Lagerfeld, we'll go. Virginie, she can chill. You know what I'm saying? She good. She good. Economically, financially, she good. Jacqueline McKinney says, I bet that made many people jealous. Probably, but it's none of their business. You know what I mean? Yeah, she is set for life, Audrey. He looked after her. He definitely did. And Karl, if he loved you, he loved you, which is also a beautiful thing. He had his weird sides, but people who he loved and who loved him, they all speak very fondly of him. So they say that Lagerfeld understood that fashion and luxury are about selling culture, as does LVMH CEO Bernard Arnault. Bernard Arnault is a little bit different here. But anyway, it is about show business and offering a convincing and relevant point of view. Lagerfeld used to say that Coco Chanel was an old lady who needed to be shaken up regularly to remain in tune with the times. Viard never felt as empowered or as legitimate as Lagerfeld to do that. That is why her work felt polite and predictable compared with his. Yeah, I guess. Lagerfeld was always au fait with current affairs, and for journalists, his shows were a breeze to cover. Those who, like Miss Tweed, interviewed him many times after his show remember that he would always say something intelligent that fitted what people had just seen. Many designers say things after their show that seem disconnected from what their collection appeared to be about. And then they say an example here. For example, in March 2013, Chanel's ready-to-wear show closed with 2 beautiful women holding hands, dressed as brides. The German designer explained afterwards that this was his way of supporting the law on gay marriage in France. Lagerfeld was an avid reader of philosophy and thought a lot about what was happening in the world. He hated the past. He would say, when people start talking about the good old times, quelle horreur, I run away, Lagerfeld used to say. Only the future was of interest to him. Lagerfeld was in the here and the now. Coming after Karl with his encyclopedic knowledge and sixth sense for capturing the zeitgeist was never going to be easy. Viard did the best she could with her rock-pop vibe and her attempts at turning Chanel into an ultra-feminine and feminist brand, holding literary cafes and staging shows that made people focus more on the clothes than on the scenery. Viard's cheaper events must have helped improve margins at the brand's fashion activities. If people complained about how expensive his ideas were, Lagerfeld would like to say, I don't work for poor people. But Karl, he would also say Chanel doesn't dress fuller women, and he said that Adele looked too chubby. I mean, he had a whole roster of cringy things, but he was Karl. He thought he could get away with everything. And guess what? He did. So Chanel has also been expanding its reach in the arts, sponsoring many events and artists. Then they say that Virginie Viard has been more low-key. Obviously, Viard produced collections faithful to Lagerfeld's and Chanel's heritage, as the Wertheimer family asked her. Interesting that the article says that the Wertheimer family asked her to produce collections that are faithful to Karl's vision and to Coco's vision. However, as her shows became more low-key compared to Karl's out-of-this-world events, consumers started paying more attention to the clothes, and they found Chanel's style looked increasingly repetitive. Coco was repetitive. That's the magic of Chanel. And this is what very few people understand when they talk about Chanel fashion. And I know that if you don't get it, you don't get it. Like, I don't expect you to get it, but for those who get it, they get it. Coco Chanel's magic and endurance and legacy and the fact that she's on top of the world in the fashion world is because she's repetitive. It's because she repeats a style, a design, a look to nausea. She's obsessed with it. Obsessed. She created her tailleurs, her two, her 4 pocket jackets and the little skirt and tweed that matches the jacket that always covers the knees. That was her uniform. Nobody wore Chanel better than Coco Chanel, just like nobody wore Vivienne Westwood better than Vivienne Westwood. But it is the fact that we have been drilled this specific style over and over and over again that we remember it. You see, it is those objects that are made once a season that are trending now and then forgotten until there's a comeback. That's not what legacy is made of. That's not what icons are made of. That's not what legends are made of. A legend repeats and repeats and is stubborn and repeats and repeats. Vivienne Westwood did the same, by the way. Her World's End collection, since what she designed and created in the 70s and in the 80s during her punk phase, and while she was with Malcolm McLaren, the squiggle shirt, the pirate shirt, the mountain hat, the pirate, these are all 80s creations. The A-line jacket, the princess jacket, all of this is still in production today at Vivienne Westwood. The orb. Repetition, repetition, repetition. That's same with Louis Vuitton. The Speedy 25, the Speedy 30, Speedy 35. Same with Hermes, the Birkin, the Kelly. The repetition is what makes it powerful. You tweak the technology. You're still doing your tailleurs, you're still doing your tweed jackets, but now maybe technology allows you to make a tweed that's a little bit more glowy or gloomy or this or that. And that's how you advance your brand, but you're still doing your tweed jackets. You're not going to stop doing that. You're still creating your camellia flowers for the jackets. You're never going to stop doing that. You're making your timeless classic double flap, your 255 reissue. You're never going to stop doing that. You're going to keep making the two-tone slingback. You're going to change the heel. It can be a kitten heel. It can be a higher heel, lower heel, but you're going to preserve the DNA. It's going to maintain its two-tone character and nature. See what I'm saying here? This is what Virginie was really good at, preserving the tradition. This is why I say Chanel is a very conservative brand, not to mean that Chanel is politically conservative, Republican, Democrat, none of that. Conservative in terms of conserving and preserving its own self. That sense of peace is luxury to me. Whenever I went to Chanel, I knew I was going to find something I love, because I know exactly what they're about. They don't shock me with something completely new. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're not changing their logo because a new designer comes along, wants to, like a dog, lift their paw and piss on the brand because their ego is so strong, so they want to prove themselves and, Hedi Slimane looking at ya, girl. Or a Daniel, what's his name? The guy who's at Burberry now, looking at ya, But anyway, Virginie did not do that. She put her ego aside, and she was a historian of Chanel fashion. That's what she did. She preserved the history of Coco Chanel's heritage and adapted it to modern times, which is a very difficult thing to do. You can only do such gestures if you put aside your ego and if you really, really understand the needs of your customer. So Virginie, in her case, creating collections for women, she understands the needs of women, she understands the female body, and she dressed women in comfortable clothes, which, guess what, was literally what Coco Chanel did her whole life. So there's nothing wrong, and this is why people don't get it. People that write these articles sometimes don't understand. It's not a negative thing that Chanel is repetitive. It's a good thing. When it comes to Chanel, the repetition is a good thing, as long as what you are repeating is of the highest quality and standards. Just saying. So, Lagerfeld's collections always had an underlying theme, Viard's less so. The genius of her boss, Karl, was his ability to capture the moment for 10 shows a year, putting the lineup of looks that went right back to founder Coco Chanel's style, but teasing and twisting each collection. Veteran fashion critic Suzy Menkes wrote on her Instagram account in reaction to the news of Virginie Viard's exit. Good old Suzy Menkes says, Virginie on her own nobly follows the Karl spirit and makes acceptable clothes. But word from the nastier fashionistas is that Chanel had to hike up the price of ever-successful handbags in order to fill up the fashion shortfall. With an interest in art and music, she can find a more attractive life than being criticized for not being Mr. Lagerfeld. Suzy Menkes, a little bit bitter. Are we, Suzy? That was a little bit snarky of you, Suzy. Are we having an issue with a fellow woman? Is this what's going on here, Suzy? Are you being snarky? Because again, Virginie is a woman, not a man. And you know how women have a competition between them usually? Because let's be also perfectly honest here. Suzy Menkes doesn't seem to realize a very important point when she talks about Virginie in these terms and when she talks about the price increases at Chanel. What Suzy Menkes completely fails to deliver and to see or understand is that Chanel was not just increasing their bag prices. Chanel has consistently been increasing incredibly high their apparel prices, their prêt-à-porter clothing from collection to collection has been increased ginormously. Not just, I have quite a few followers that watch my channel that are haute couture clients at Chanel. They too have told me, Dacob, from collection to collection, the haute couture gets much more expensive. Suzy Menkes, dear, you missed the mark there, haven't you, a little bit, my dear, huh? Let's talk perfumes. They go up $50 a year. They used to cost $200. They're now $500 a bottle. Last year they were $450. Now they're $500. So now their perfumes are going up in price. Their makeup is going up in price. Their shoes are going up in price. This is not just the bags, Suzy. Everything at Chanel is going up in price. And I believe it's not Virginie's fault. I believe it's Leena Nair's fault. I believe Leena Nair is doing this. I personally, it is my opinion that Leena Nair is doing this. Profit, profit, profit. Leena Nair in every interview talks about Chanel as if Chanel were responsible for delivering profits for their shareholders. But Chanel doesn't have shareholders. It's not a public company. The shareholders of Chanel are the Wertheimers. They own Chanel. Those are the shareholders, okay? Like they own Chanel. But she's talking in every interview about Chanel as if, here she is again. She's talking about Chanel as if Chanel had to make these profits. You don't need to prove your profits to anybody if you are Chanel. You are a privately owned company. Then quit talking about it as if Chanel were all about the money. That is very vulgar. Very, very vulgar, Leena. I mean, Unilever was all about the money, maybe. Carl himself in interviews would always state, when he designed a collection and they asked him about the pricing, he's like, I don't care about the prices. I'm here to design, to be artistic. He made it very clear he doesn't want to prioritize money when it comes to these beautiful objects that he conceives and designs. A little bit elitist of him, for sure, but guess what? That's how he managed in part to gatekeep anybody in a higher position at Chanel deciding, let's ravage the prices now. Let's go full ballistic on upping the prices. Chanel was always an expensive brand, but it was a brand that was accessible to the aspirational client. Anybody who put their mind and soul into it could afford at a certain point a Chanel bag in time. Maybe you need to save up for 2 years to get it. And some of you might say that is crazy, that's ludicrous. If you need to save up for 2 years for a bag, then you shouldn't buy it. It's not part of your lifestyle. I call bullcrap on that. Everybody should have the beautiful objects that they love. It's none of your business why a person decides to love something or not love something. Not everybody's wearing a Chanel bag in order to show off that they can afford one. Somebody just appreciates the beauty of it, maybe. And if somebody needs to spend, 2 years collecting the money to purchase said bag, more power to them, I say. Now, you can't do that anymore because what, you're going to spend 2 years trying to put aside $10,000 for a timeless classic small double flap? Guess what, boo-boo? The problem is in 2 years from now, that bag is not going to be $10,000 anymore. It's going to be maybe $14,000 or $15,000. So you're never going to reach the amount of money needed to put aside to purchase this bag anymore because they're increasing the prices so aggressively. So in the past, there was an accessibility to this brand that is now gone. It's gone. And again, there you go. I think it's her fault. Just my opinion. So then it goes on by saying fashion experts also noticed that Viard did not have complete control over the brand's image. And this is an interesting point, I agree. Carl, the first few years he was at Chanel, Carl hired Helmut Newton to do the photo shoots for the Chanel ad campaigns. So in reality, the first few collections from Carl from 1983 onwards were photographed by Helmut Newton. But then relatively shortly after that, Carl took over. And since then, Carl has photographed all the Chanel ad campaigns himself. He was very much in control of almost every aspect of Chanel creativity. He was really fully there. But Virginie, she's not a photographer. She doesn't want to be, That's fine as well. But she did not take in her hands the full control of the artistic vision when it comes to brand marketing, right? So fashion experts noticed that Viard did not have complete control over the brand's image. The brand produced a series of inconsistent ad campaigns. It hired many different art directors and photographers and gave a lot of leeway to photographers such as Ines and Vinud. They say the pair just produced a new ad campaign featuring actors Brad Pitt and Penelope Cruz. What a travesty of an ad campaign, in my opinion. Revisiting the Claude Lelouch film Man and a Woman. Terrible, in my opinion. In December last year, Chanel held its Métiers d'Art show in Manchester in the UK, an industrial and working class city with little luxury culture. Like Marseille, Viard wanted to pay tribute to the city's new wave and pop music and artists such as the Smiths, New Order, and Oasis. It marked an attempt to break Chanel's conservative image, but that is not what consumers expected of her. Viard produced shows driven by her own personal inspiration, not by what was happening in the world. It was romantic. It's a romanticized vision of a collection. But I disagree again with this article when they state that Manchester, an industrial and working class city with little luxury culture. I disagree with this. I disagree. I've been to Manchester several times. I've also worked in Manchester on several projects. Manchester is a beautiful city. It's a culturally extremely rich city. And again, we are sitting here debating the meaning of luxury. Don't forget, this is Chanel. This is not some Oompa Loompa brand trying to define and redefine luxury. Chanel comes from Coco Chanel. Okay, Coco Chanel is very, very clear on this. Coco Chanel says, luxury is not the opposite of poverty. Luxury is the opposite of vulgarity. You have to understand luxury from that perspective in order to understand Virginie Viard's vision for Chanel, because that was Coco Chanel's vision for Chanel as well. So the Manchester collection, you might like it, you might not like it. You might like the colors of those clothes, the shapes, or you might not like them. But you cannot sit here stating that Manchester does not know luxury and does not partake in luxury culture. That is simply not true. Furthermore, Manchester has a Chanel boutique. I've been to it back in 2010. So Manchester has luxury culture. Manchester also has working class culture. But the two are not exclusive to each other. Again, we are in this elitist mindset thinking that the one thing excludes the other. They don't have to exclude each other because luxury is not about snobbery and money. Luxury is not the opposite of poverty. It's the opposite of vulgarity. And a lot of people are really borderline vulgar in their description of what luxury is. Okay, first of all. Second of all, I find the actual Métier d'Art Manchester collection, the styling, not a big fan of it. The runway, blocking that entire street in Manchester for an entire week and having people who are living there complaining about it, I was not a fan of that either. But having seen those clothes now up close and personal, once they are actually in hand, you get to touch them and see them, most of them are beautiful. Amazing. This is a type of fashion that you have to zoom in really close to observe it, to get to know it, and then you fall in love with it. And I can tell you this out of personal experience of owning the clothes that I purchased from Chanel under the directorship of Virginie Viard. I loved them on the runway. That's why I pre-ordered them, because I order the biggest size they have. As a man, usually with Chanel, I have to get the biggest sizes, so I pre-order those 6 months in advance because usually a size 50, not many boutiques order the pieces that I want in such a big size. So I am stuck with having to pre-order stuff, right? So I fall in love with a piece on the runway. I pre-order it. 6 months later, it arrives into the boutique, and when I see it live and I touch it, the optics of it live are even more beautiful. And then I really fall in love with the piece even more. And that not everybody can achieve. Virginie can. So there's something to be said about that. Aisha says in the chats, I love the Manchester collection. And Aisha also says, yes, Dacob, Manchester is beautiful. Manchester is gorgeous. I've been to Manchester several times, you guys. I mean, do not throw shade at Manchester. Seriously, not cool. And maybe this was just an unfortunate choice of words from the author of the article, but maybe if you're writing an article, weigh your words more carefully after all. In December last year, Chanel held its Métier d'Art show in Manchester, right? Okay, so you sense a complete lack of central creative vision, which did not help construct a cohesive narrative for the brand in the past 5 years, notes Fabio Beccheri, or Bechery, an advisor to luxury brands who worked many years for Kering. Again, Kering, publicly owned company. These Oompa Loompas telling you where it's at and where it's at for because they're money driven. Again, Chanel has the privilege of being a privately owned company. Part of the luxury of Chanel is They don't need to answer to anyone. If they want to make a collection that is poetic and it happens to flop on sales, okay, fine. We have the perfume revenue to cover up whatever we lost in this collection. That's okay. That's okay. That's luxury. That's luxury. Being able to also do what you love and what you believe in. That's a vision to me. Does that mean that you're only successful if the entire world understands your vision? No, not at all. Why would it be? Actually, if the entire world understands your vision, well, then you're just a mass product, aren't you? Then you're just trendy. But if the world takes some time to understand your vision, then you are ahead of your times. Period. Exclusive aura. Now, this is an interesting point in the article. They say another problem is that the executives who understood what Chanel was about are leaving or have already left. If they were still in charge, they would have stopped Virginie Viard from doing her show in Manchester or Marseille, a city known for its grubby and gangster-dominated neighborhoods. I'm sorry, you guys, but this kind of borderline makes me angry. Don't talk about Manchester this way, please. This is really not cool. I find it highly offensive also to the wonderful people that also live in Manchester. And you can't, like, why would you generalize like this? Why would you try to just label Manchester as a gangster city? That is really not polite. And it also shows me that maybe you lack a little bit of culture yourself if you're saying something like this. If they were still in charge, they would have stopped Viard from doing her show in Manchester or Marseille, a city known for its grubby and gangster-dominated neighborhoods. These hardly suit the glam and exclusive aura associated with Chanel. Yeah, that's why I also liked Chanel under Viard, because she would go to places where, yeah, you wouldn't expect Chanel, maybe, but it was there. It was there. And it was very much connected to Coco Chanel's vision of her own brand. Coco looked towards the people. Don't forget, in one of the many biographies written on Coco Chanel, quite a few biographers also state, and yes, I have several videos on books you should read on Coco Chanel. I have a library of over 100 books on Chanel, and I have read them too. So, but I do have one special video, the top 5 books you should read on Coco Chanel. So go check out that video as well on my channel. And a lot of these biographies state that when posed the question of copies, counterfeits, people copying her, they said, Coco, how do you feel about when you walk down the streets, markets of Paris, and you see people, little ladies, on the streets selling stuff on the street, and they would be, bags that are imitating your famous 255 bag, or your little jackets with the 4 pockets. How do you react to that? Does that annoy you? What do you guys think Coco Chanel answered? You think she pulled Bernard Arnault? You think she sued whatever little money those poor women had on the street selling these knockoffs? Instead, what she said was, I was thrilled. I was thrilled to see that finally Coco Chanel and the Chanel brand has made it to the people. And she said, once you make it to the people, you know you are a legend. And this is what ultimately I believe Virginie Viard was doing. She was bringing back Chanel to the people. And now you're going to say, but the prices are crazy high. It's not for the people. Yeah, true. But who's deciding the prices? Not Virginie Viard, my dears. No, that's not her job. She doesn't decide the prices. That's Leena, Bruno, and the whole gang. Those are the ones deciding the prices. Their marketing team is deciding the prices. Their pricing team is deciding the prices. Not Virginie Viard. You can't blame Virginie for the high prices. And I've also noticed this on social media. People are also blaming her for the high prices. She has nothing to do with the prices. Nothing. Also, Karl Lagerfeld had nothing to do with the choice of the prices. The aerial views of lines of concrete buildings filmed by drones for the video that the brand showed about the cruise collection at Marseille evoked a vision of a third-rate suburb. To me, it gave more a vibe of a post-apocalyptic suburb. But again, it's a choice. It's a very clear choice to me. Now Chanel needs to reinvent itself, says the article. Like Gucci last year, it did not expect its creative director to leave so abruptly. Alessandro Michele did not leave. Apparently, he was fired. So that's a little bit different from this situation, allegedly. It's surreal that Chanel, a $20 billion business, has not prepared this moment, one veteran former fashion CEO said. Chanel had 15 years to prepare Karl's succession. They should have started while he was still in charge. That's a serious professional mistake. They worry about organization, but they should worry first about the brand's creativity. The nuclear reactor. I think the Vadheimers did well to get Virginie to succeed Karl. Again, publicly owned company. They don't owe anybody any answers. If they love to stick to heritage, stick with Virginie, give her more time. The woman spent 3 years in a pandemic and then 2 years under Leena Nair. Why don't you give her a better conditions to work under? Why don't you stop making all her team leave? And maybe she's going to be a little bit more psychologically at peace to create. Think, how about that? How about giving her a better environment to work in? Anybody ever thought about that? No, it's the woman's fault. No, it's Virginie's fault. Nobody else's. Come on, please. The double standards, really. However, unlike Gucci parent Kering, which is a listed company, Chanel can afford to take its time, and it probably will. People close to Chanel say, we are confident in the team's ability to ensure the continuity of the collections during this period of transition, Chanel said in a statement. Several names are in the hat, including Hedi Slimane, Celine's outgoing creative director. Slimane would be great in theory, but in reality it's unlikely Chanel would be willing to give him the complete control he would want over the brand's image, fashion insiders say. However, you never know. Industry sources have also been mentioning the name of Marc Jacobs. He would be a great team player, essential at Chanel. Jacobs is tied to his own eponymous brand only until 2027. That is partly why offers for his business put up for sale in recent months did not meet expectations, as Ms. Tweed reported in May. Another candidate is Pierpaolo Piccioli, who left Valentino in March. Piccioli would most certainly revamp the brand's couture and give it a strong new vision. I don't agree with that at all, but okay. However, the Italian designer may already be in talks with LVMH about joining Fendi to succeed Kim Jones. Last year, talks broke down between Gucci's former star designer Alessandro Michele and Fendi. Several industry sources have said Michele wanted the brand to part ways with Fendi matriarch Silvia Venturini Fendi, in charge of menswear and accessories, and her daughter Delfina Delettrez Fendi, who has looked after jewelry since 2020. There were advanced negotiations and they were close to signing, but Alessandro wanted the family to exit, and LVMH could not agree to do that. One person with knowledge of the talks said, wow, I don't see Alessandro Michele being that arrogant to kick out the owner of Fendi from designing at Fendi. I don't believe this personally, but you never know. It could take as much as a year for Chanel to find the right person to succeed Viard, which, if this were the case, if they really needed a whole year to find a person to succeed her, then you best believe that she left. It was very abrupt. The longer time they need to find a successor, the more you can believe that she's the one who decided to leave. And abruptly so. Despite the recent battering it endured, the brand remains one of the world's strongest, and it has experienced teams in place who can ensure continuity. What happens next at Chanel is going to be one of the industry's most closely watched sagas. And you best believe we're going to watch. And on another note, Virginie was very close to all the ladies at Haute Couture ateliers. They worked very closely together for many, many decades. If Virginie left for this reason, Leena Nair sacking all of her colleagues, making it more and more difficult to work, putting more and more pressure on performance, sales, and blah, blah, blah. If Virginie left out of protest, I believe the ladies that have been working for decades with her at Haute Couture, they might walk as well. So I wouldn't be counting too much on this whole concept of, oh, well, Chanel can still rely on all of its workers who are so experienced, who have been working there for so long. Yeah. But workers in France are also very, very much into the rights of workers. And if they notice that the standards of their work and the quality, as well as what they are earning, if their conditions for work are deteriorating, they will protest. It's in the blood of the French, and I love the French for it. The French know when to stand up and say, enough is enough. To me, the fact that Virginie Viard stood up for herself, if this actually happened, if she did walk on her terms, that's revolutionary. That's punk. That's punk. If Virginie Viard said, you know what, all of you mofos, I'm done. Bye. See ya, don't wanna be ya. If she truly did it that way, then all of a sudden, all of her fashion at Chanel makes even more sense. All of her punk rock references, all of her cultural references to that era, it all makes sense. She's a punk at heart herself. And if she left because she's done with their system, because she's done with Leena Nair's destructive, because disruptive is a fashionable word. In fashion, people love to use, oh, this is so disruptive, and I think it's an edgy word to use. Oh my God, losers. This is destructive instead of disruptive. So she's probably just like, you know what, bitch, I'm done. Thank you. No, I'm not going to play these vicious, cruel games you're playing. You're being destructive, so I'm leaving. Deal with it yourself. That's punk. That's punk, baby. So Virginie, you have always a platform here on the Fashion Bunker, in the Fashion Bunker. I know you're not the type who's going to loudly protest and give interviews about what really happened. Maybe you also signed NDAs, I don't know. But I would love to hear your version of the story. And Virginie, now is the time to speak out and speak up about what happened. Raise awareness about this. Come on, lady. You're a punk at heart. Be punk to the fullest, to the nth degree, and let people know what really happened. Maybe you think it's more noble of a gesture to just let it be, and maybe you're right. But don't forget all the generations coming after you. Don't forget all the people, the girls and the boys who are dreaming to work at Chanel. Save them the sorrow. Save them the pain to have to learn on their own backs and with their own blood, sweat, and tears how terrible a work condition Chanel can actually be if the wrong people are in charge. If you warn people about this publicly, then I believe we still have hope for the future of Chanel. But if you stay silent, how much can we attribute that silence to complicity, being complicit to something? Silence is never a good thing. No matter how much you believe it's a noble gesture, if bullying is going on here, and if disagree you do with the new management, then the bully wants you to stay silent. If you stay silent, they win. The bully can only lose if you raise your voice, if you make your voice loudly heard, loud and clear. This is the time to stand up and talk and share your story with us. So please consider doing that. Not everybody on social media is hating you. Not everybody on social media is bashing you. I'm supporting you vehemently so. You're not alone. There are people who respect you and love you, Virginie. I'm one of them. So you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thumb up this video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe. Share this video. Let people know what is happening. And of course, all my love also to Miss Tweed for the article. Nina B says, while on the other hand, Lady Leena Nair did not give me good vibes. Imagine how would they communicate when Leena doesn't even speak French and doesn't seem to care about that. Peace and the best for Virginie. Yeah, Leena Nair says in interviews she doesn't speak French. She's learning it, but she doesn't speak it. One could also say her English is also not the best, but then she does what she needs to do for business. But French? Not just that, she didn't even recognize that her jacket was prêt-à-porter, not haute couture. She talked about her jacket as if it were haute couture. Does she know the difference between prêt-à-porter and haute couture? I don't think she knows much. Oh well, just in my opinion. Good luck, Leena. Good luck, Leena Nair, sitting at the top of your empire that seems to be crumbling as we speak. Allegedly. Love you loads. Subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Bye. Nina NB says, I hate they are hating her. Thank you for your interest and insights. Thank you, guys. So now I have another bit of news to share with you. Something really interesting happened. Another one of my followers sent me very kindly a screenshot. Oh, for the mods, there was a troll? Hi, Mahora. Oh, hi, sweetie. Good morning. Aish, Audrey, Mahora, Terry. Our 4 mods that are currently in the chat. What happened with the troll? Good morning, Star Medicine. There was a troll situation? I didn't notice. Mahora's like, woo, cha, the drama. Right, Mahora? Oh, they were arguing? But that's not troll, if they're arguing. I went to the bathroom, I missed it. Oh, okay, Terry. Hi, Danny. Love DIY. How's it going, sweetie? Hi, Zach. Good morning. Aish says about Susie Menkes. They were being unnecessarily rebellious. Oh, Mahora. Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that comment. I just ignored it. Shiva Bukhari says, good morning, Dacob. Hi, Shiva. Good morning. Hi, Zach. Good morning, y'all. Dacob, wonderful segment. What a powerful start of the new week. Yes. And I'm live streaming now because I'm waiting to see if there's any news coming from Paris because Chanel opened their offices now. By now, they're all in their office. Maybe they're watching me live. Hi, Lena. Hi, Bruno Pavlovsky. If you two are watching, hi. How lovely it is to not work for you and to be able to freely speak my mind. Could you imagine? Lena, wouldn't you love it, Lena, if I worked for you so that I would have to shut my mouth and not say my opinion? Lena, would you like that? Or Bruno, would you like that too? To have a person like me work for you so that we're not allowed to have an opinion? You would like that, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Allegedly. Hi, Alyssa Wonderland. Lena's shaking us with spick. Ozge, good morning, Ozge. Nina V says, good morning. Watch, they should like the live. Yeah, right? They should thumb up the video. Oh my God, Melissa, me too. That terrible piece of journalism. Francine interview, you mean from Bloomberg? That was terrible. Danny says, hello, gorgeous. Couldn't sleep and here we is. Hi, Danny. Manti says, do you think Lena will have bacon for lunch? Yeah, she delivers the bacon, baby. But we're thinking that the bacon at this point is burnt. Chris, burnt To a crisp, honey. To a crisp at this point. Thomas O'Sullivan says, I got fired once and had to leave within 2 hours, enough to say goodbye. Very HR way to do it. Oh, yes. Classic HR way to do it. And I have another little tidbit of information to share with you. So another one of my lovely followers, this time on Instagram, sent me this from Jacques Mousse. Let me blend it in. It's a screenshot of the Jacques Mousse, one of the contenders, right? One of those people that I'm scared is going to come to Chanel next as artistic director. I really hope not, because I cannot stand him. Let me blend this travesty in while I powder my nose. So, for those of you who have tiny screens, because you are watching me from maybe a mobile device, I'm going to read this to you. So, Jacques Mousse made a post, or was it an Insta story? And he said, tomorrow I will present my last collection. The show is going to be a pure essence of Jacques Mousse. Melissa says, why the Tiffany green? No, Tiffany's blue, sweetie, not green. Why the Tiffany blue? So tomorrow I will present my last collection. The show is going to be a pure essence of Jacques Mousse. Now, I read this, I fainted, I got scared, because Jacques Mousse is like, no. Absolutely no. No. But again, Kev came to the rescue, and I sent this to Kev immediately. I'm like, Kev, oh my God, like, and this is all happening on a Sunday, right? The article, the news dropping about like the insiders saying that Virginie Viard like had a fight and left. This happened on a Sunday, and then this on a Sunday. I mean, my Sunday, I live stream on a Saturday. I have 2 live streams on a Saturday. So on a Sunday, I'm usually really very slow. I try to heal my voice, because I usually lose my voice on a Sunday after talking so long, and I'm just a zombie, really. And instead, I spent my entire Sunday being bombarded by these news, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to live stream again, because I fear that by the time I'm live streaming again on Wednesday, there's going to be so much new news coming that this, you know what I mean? Like, we have to keep on top of things in order to keep delivering the news. Because by Wednesday, I feel like there's going to be a ton more stuff. So he says, tomorrow I will present my last collection. The show is going to be a pure essence of Jacques Mousse. Okay, so when he wrote last collection, I fainted, because I thought, because he's leaving Jacques Mousse to go to Chanel. But then Kev saved the day. Kev told me, no, Dacob. Apparently, the Nectarine Man says, I would rather a cardboard cutout of Mr. Lagerfeld as creative director at Chanel over the Jacques Mousse. So Kev tells me, no, this was apparently a typo. You know, the dude doesn't speak very well English. So apparently, allegedly, this was supposed to say my latest collection. Tomorrow I will present my latest collection. The show is going to be a pure essence of Jacques Mousse. But because he said last, they apparently took this down when people started commenting, leaving comments like, oh, are you going to Chanel, blah, 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 blah. So then they took this post down. But here's what I'm thinking. Was this a typo? Was this truly a typo? Or was this a Freudian slip? Intentional typo, Geno, to stir the pot. Similar to what I showed you yesterday in the live stream, Pablo Olea did for Jeremy Scott, when he dropped the 5 black hearts to signal, because somebody said, one of those TikTok Oompa Loompas said Jeremy Scott could take over at Chanel, and then Pablo Lea commented with 5 hearts atting Jeremy Scott. Pablo Lea has been working with Jeremy Scott forever. They've, so he's his right hand. So I was like, interesting. They're all coming out of the woodwork trying to get the job. I feel like all of these designers do not know who and if anybody has been given the job as artistic director of Chanel. So they are all trying to stir the pot in every way they can to raise awareness about themselves, to be in the conversation, to get the job, similar to what happens when actors hear that there's a really good role available in Hollywood for a movie that they really want to be a part of. They're going to tell their agents, like, hey, get me to audition for this role, for this part. And then they're going to try to do anything they can to get the part. They're going to try to shave their hair off, dye it any color, hunger themselves, do whatever they need to do together. This is what's happening now with these designers. I feel like they are all hungry for the position at Chanel. Interesting also how John Galliano, right after or shortly after, I think it was shortly after and not before, correct me if I'm wrong, the announcement of Virginie Viard leaving Chanel, he deleted all of his posts on his Instagram profile. All of them. He emptied his entire Instagram profile. And that is something that you usually do when you're like going to get hired by a new company. And I'm like, oh, is John Galliano telling us he's going to Chanel? Or is John Galliano telling us he wants to go to Chanel? And he's like acting a little bit like to show us like, hey, I'm doing this because I want you all to believe, that I'm more than. I don't know. Melissa says, oh, Loic finally delivered a useful bit of info. I think he's entering the chat with that last. Wait, Melissa, what are you trying to tell me? Olivier Clément. Hi, Olivier Clément. Olivier Clément says, wow, Loic was filming Jacquemus' headquarters and it showed he was working on more collections for January. Yes. So we do believe that this was typo, latest instead of last, or intentional typo, right? Galliano deleted all Instagram pics. Yes, he did, Lanfari. Yes, he did. And that also led to speculation. Why would he delete all his Instagram posts? Is it because now he's like switching over to Chanel, so he doesn't want to have any Margiela posts left? But however, Galliano still states in his bio on Instagram that he is working for Maison Martin Margiela. So he didn't delete that. He just deleted all the photos. But still, it's a signal. We have to read between the lines here. All of these designers are probably very hungry to get the post as artistic directors at Chanel. They're all applying for the job as best they can, Nina and B, right? Coco Convert says every one of them is riding that Chanel wave, or shall we say everyone's riding that Chanel comet. They all want to jump on that comet and ride it to Coco, Planet Coco. But here's what I'm thinking. Why would you want to do that knowing that Leena Nair is going to be your boss? Think about it. Would you want to start working for Chanel under these conditions now? I wouldn't. You underestimate sometimes the amount of pressure that you would be put under. 10 collections a year. And having Leena Nair buzzing at your ear about profits. I don't think many people can handle that pressure. The narcissism, says Melissa. Yeah, very narcissistic people could maybe handle the situation. Yeah. Nina says, yes, I agree. Thank you so much, Dacob, for supporting Virginie and for trying to find the truth. I really want to get to the bottom of this, you guys. Thank you, Nina. Sébastien Philippe Fortin says, it's like when you get rid of photos of your partner on your Instagram when you meet the new cute neighbor. Sebastien, classic. Classic. And then you go back all the way to the past and you try to delete any photos of you together with them. Classic. Not just on Insta, all social media. Classic. Classic. Danny says, yum. Jenno says, please have a woman as artistic director at Chanel, one who understands how to dress women. Jen O, I completely agree with you. Virginie was perfect for the part, but she doesn't want... I think, in my opinion, she was done with Leena's attitude and she left. That's what I think happened. Because I don't think she left because of Bruno Pavlovsky. Why am I saying this? Because Bruno Pavlovsky was there during the Karl era. So Virginie had many years of time to deal with Bruno. I think Virginie, I don't think she left because of Bruno. I think, if anything, she left because of Leena. Allegedly, and just in my opinion. Sheridan says Leena would not be able to handle John Galliano. I mean, would he even care about her? I think he would just be in his own bubble. I don't know. I have no clue how this man is like reacting at this point to this sort of peer pressure. Mahora is like, Leena Nair, buzzing at your ear. Algebrist says Galliano could handle it, but it's about whether he even wants to. Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe he just doesn't want to, but then why delete all his posts on Instagram? Right after they announced the departure of Virginie Viard. Everybody wants to be a legend, says Alyssa. True. Deborah says, agree, Sheridan, I said this above. Leena won't be able to handle John Galliano. And Deborah says, she also said the same thing up above in the chats. Manti says, Leena, that little worker bee buzzing all day long. Good for her. Alyssa says, I'm here for Galliano at Chanel. Whoop, whoop. Melissa says, I would love Galliano. Not going to happen. I'm still convinced it will be Maria Grazia Chiuri. But did Maria Grazia Chiuri officially leave Dior yet? Did she? Do we have confirmation? I didn't hear her leaving Dior. Sheridan says, thanks, Deborah. I'm not wearing my glasses and working out my new phone. Oh, Kate says, I'm exhausted. It's exhausting to be under a pressure and in a race of we need more. Yeah, it's terrible. Plus, you guys, don't forget, you got to do 10 collections a year. That's almost one fashion show a month. Yes, the pre-collections don't have a fashion show, but the pre-collections have a photo shoot show. So, Kate Moore says, sorry, right now. Yvonne, how about a certain Miss Markle be given a job at Chanel? After all, she's her own fashion icon. Yeah, no, she wouldn't handle it. Brenda says, they should have a French CEO. Maybe the difference in culture is a thing. I think Leena is from New Rich, India. Possibly, but not limited to just being French. But I think it would help a lot. French Nectarine Man, they do it because even the speculation of taking the reins at Chanel boosts their profile. Exactly. I agree with that. Completely. It looks like Slimane is in line. Yeah, Danny, it seems like Haiti is on his way. Nina says, isn't it somehow related to what we were talking about the other day about competition among women? Whatever. I'm glad for Virginie if she's happy. I just hope she's doing okay. I hope she's not psychologically devastated. I hope she's not having physical ailments. I hope that she's not physically sick, and I hope that that's not the reason why she quit. I hope that she's doing okay. I hope that if this was her choice to leave, I hope that she is happy with her decision. Hi, Val. How's it going? Hi, Quinn. Melissa says, not yet, but I'm waiting for a coup de théâtre. Algebrist says, I wonder if Leena speaks French. No, she does not. She says it in interviews. Algebrist. She said it just a couple of weeks ago or months ago in an interview. They asked her, do you speak French? She's like, no, I don't, but I'm taking lessons. I'm a girl. You had 2 years. You been working at Chanel for 2 years, girl. And in that interview with Francine for Bloomberg, Not only did she say that after 2 years of living in France, she still can't speak French, but she also mispronounced Coco's name. You not only do you not speak French, but you you mispronounced her name, and I'm like, is she for real now? Is this woman for real? Melissa, I agree. Gianfranco Ferre could have been amazing at Chanel. I completely agree with you, but he's no longer with us, unfortunately. Manti says, at this point, put a dog as creative director. Nina B says, no, she only knows bonjour, croissant, et argent. Sheridan says, I want Haiti to stay at Celine, sister. You know what? I agree. I would like Hedi Slimane to stay at Celine. He's done some wonderful things at Celine. I think he's doing a great job at Celine. I don't think there's a need for him to leave Celine. Mahora says, Gay, Brie, and Al. Yeah, no, she called Gabrielle Gabriel. Anyway. Manti says, bonjour, oui, Paris, la Tour Eiffel. Yeah, exactly, Manti. Yvonne says, what not? Even the basics of French hellos, how are you, etc. Honestly, all this was drummed into us in high school, right? Coco Converse says, how ignorant, Melissa says, is Carl's cat still alive? Yes, Melly. Choupette is still very... ring, 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 ring. Hello? Choupette. Oh, hello, darling. Meow. 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 I got you, girl. Bye. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, let me tell you where it's at. So Choupette told me, first of all, she's like, bitch, how dare you call another cat? A couple of weeks ago, Choupette was watching and saw me call the cat that spent a birthday at Louis Vuitton, you know, the rich family from, where were they? So she was upset, but then she has a plan. She is very, very Inspector Gadget. Choupette is like, has a plan, but I'm not allowed to reveal what plan it is. Choupette has a plan for Chanel, you guys. We'll go. Now, obviously, this phone call never happened. It was satire, comedic relief. Gotta say it. And you gotta know it. Someone take that phone away from him ASAP, says Mahora. Kidver's like, Dacob, stop! Naklov Yedo says, and you have a point. Fashion is dying. It's not about art or creativity anymore. It's just about the money, sadly. Yeah, really. Melissa says, and that was a better interview than the one of the bacon specialist. Terry's laughing. Algebra says, having to give the satire disclaimer was even funnier. I know that some people are actually going to watch this thinking that I actually really did call Choupette, or that Choupette called me, you guys. Ocean 8, Choupette's Revenge, Manti says. Oscar says, it would be a dream if Virginie starts her own brand and takes all the workers Chanel let go under her roof. Terry's like, my cat woke up and was like, WTF. Robbie says, my cat was scared of Choupette. Oh, you guys. Oh my God. But yeah, I said that in the last live stream. I said, you know, if Virginie Viard were to start her own brand, I would buy her clothes. If she were to make clothes for men or for women, but in a bigger size that a man could also wear, I would totally support Virginie Viard, and I would buy her collection. Cinnabar Carol says, I'm dying. I mean, we needed a little bit of comedy, right? It was a moment. It was a vibe. It was a moment. It was a vibe. Also, I want to take this opportunity to also say thank you to Terry again yesterday in the live stream. If you've watched at the end of the live stream, Teresa, because my computer is dying, so Teresa offered so generously and kindly to send over a computer, a laptop to the Fashion Bunker. So I've been in touch with Terry today, and as of tomorrow, today, later on today, the computer is on its way to the Fashion Bunker. So Terry, thank you so much, my love. And I just wanted to say again, thank you, Terry, so much for so kindly donating a laptop to help with the live streams, because my computer was not having it anymore, you guys. My computer has been glitching and falling apart and crashing. And so Terry was so generous and so kind. And she's sending us a new MacBook Pro, and it will arrive midweek, more or less. And then you guys got to give me some time to learn to use it with all of the requirements and systems that I need, and with all of the apps and software that I need to download. So it's going to take me a minute, but I will let you guys know. I will keep you posted, and I will, of course, celebrate with you the first live stream that we do done with the new laptop. That's going to be a special, momentous, historic occasion for the Fashion Bunker. So I'm going to keep you posted on that, guys, as well.
Please send it to me.
There you go. So thank you, Terry, so much again.
Yes.
Terry Queen says, Val, Dacob, you need the MacBook Pro finally. Yes, Naklov. Terry's sending us a MacBook Pro, so I'm super excited about this. So Terry, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your love and support. And Zach says, I wanted to comment on this, even though my possible conflict of interest as former Apple Store employee, but I'm also happy that it's happening. Thank you, Terry, says Zach. Zach, so you have some negative stuff to say about Apple. I didn't know that you used to work for Apple. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, you're going to have to send me all the intel. Send me all the deets. Send me all the dirt, Zach. Lori says, thank you, Terry. Michelle Jenner says, wow, thanks, Terry. Oh, guys, you're all way too sweet and kind. Thank you, everybody, for thanking Terry. Bless Terry, says Naklov, and thank you for supporting the Fashion Bunker, everybody, you guys. Just by being here with me in the chats, you are already supporting the Fashion Bunker. Now, thumb up the live stream. Should we go do some shade? Nina says, standing ovation for Terry at the Fashion Bunker. Thank you, Terry. And it's so wonderful and amazing to see somebody so giving and generous on top of going through major health issues that Terry has shared with us publicly. I'm not going to repeat everything, but, Terry's also going through a difficult time. And it's not easy to go through a difficult time when you're dealing with a lot of health issues and still to find the energy inside of you to be kind and giving despite of all the pain that you're going through. You guys, that's a whole other level of angel. That's a whole other level of angel. And applause to the hubby. Let's give a round of applause to Terry's hubby, correct? Terry says, and to hubby too. It was both our ideas. Yes! King and Quinn. There you go, guys. And I'm just saying this because I know, this year has been difficult for me. I've been to the hospital. I've been sick several times. I know firsthand how it is when you are in pain, when you are sick. The last thing that's on your mind is being patient with others, is being kind to others, is being interested in anything entertaining. You're just with your own sorrows, and you just want everybody to disappear. So to find the strength, despite all your troubles that you're going through and pain, to find the strength to still be kind and polite and patient and to have a sense of humor, like that's a whole other level of angel, seriously. So thank you. Really, I don't take this ever for granted. Zach says, no, I'm so happy this is happening because for you as artists, it's a way to go. Your hair will be flying how it's fast. Oh, thank you, Zach. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, to be, Sibila says, yes, to be compassionate even in the worst said a lot of Terry as a human being. Oh, for sure. JLB, bonjour tout le monde. Hi, beautiful Dacob. Thanks, Terry. What a generous gift. Hi, bonjour, JLB. You guys, should we go to the Purse Forum? Should we do the Purse Forum drama happening live? Should we do a little bit of drama? A hater that has commented bad things about me before. Let's see. So, oh my God, yes, says Cinnabar Carol. Yes, says Velasquez. Nina is like, yes. The sun is shining today. I'm going to need some shade, says Manti. So, okay, guys. Yes, let's do more tea. Okay, so I'm going to read to you now what he said about me in the past. Let me just get the comment. Oh, him, I know him. Okay. So it's a guy, or he goes by a guy. So this was in 2021. So first I'm going to read to you what he wrote in the Purse Forum about me back in 2021. August 19th, 2021, on Coco Chanel's birthday. Okay, Miss Thing. So he wrote, he's only kind to those who praise him. I learned myself the hard way. Been watching his channel for a few years now. What shocked me the most is how arrogant and vulgar he became. Wait, and then why doesn't it continue? And now every video is like ... Oh, now every video is like shit. Okay. So then on August 20th, 2021, so the next day, he goes on, of course, but we also have the right to criticize without being called pigs, trolls, oompa loompas, etc. While in fact, Dacob is the biggest troll, feeding and growing his channel on bashing other Lux YouTubers and hating people who's got different opinion. Wow, okay. Then what else did he say? So he's then been commenting 2023, 2020, June 2023, June 20. Okay, he's been commenting a lot. Now let's go to the newest happening live stream. Or live. Now let's go to see what's happening live in the comments on the Purse Forum. 53 minutes ago, this same hater of mine is still on the Purse Forum from 2021. Now, 2024, 53 minutes ago, he's commenting, he's making a comment about my latest live stream from yesterday. Okay, now he claims that what I said in my live stream yesterday about Virginie Viard, it's all made up bullshit. He's got no clue what's going on at Chanel right now. This is all gossip. As most things, he's hallucinating about Chanel's CEO and Virginie Viard. His so-called intel, being one or two sales associates, also have no idea, as such low-level employees don't have access to that knowledge. I thought Dacob would finally grow up and move on from drama content, but no, It's still the core of his YouTube channel, blabbing behind people's backs. That's the latest comment that he left 53 minutes ago. My, how I love to live rent-free in your head, Mr. Hater from the Purse Forum. Mahora says, it sounds like a certain someone. Well, Naklov says, he should take his meds. Oh, Neha Vas, where in the Purse Forum are you reading from, Dacob? I'm on the forum. Oh, I can tell you the thread. Good question, Neha. You're on the Purse Forum right now? Yeah. Favorite Chanel YouTubers. So the thread is favorite Chanel YouTubers. And it's page 2,325. Sorry, wrong thread. Sorry, wrong thread. So, guys, sorry, wrong thread. The correct thread is Chanel RTW. That's abbreviation for ready to wear. Chanel RTW reveals chit chat and info thread. I repeat, the thread where he just left his comment 53 minutes ago is the Chanel ready to wear reveals chit chat and info thread. And then you go to page 2,325, the latest page. Wait, did somebody else say something before that? Somebody else commented something. And I was just saying, actually, on Saturday, how thankful I am to the Purse Forum for being so kind to me lately, except for this one, Oompa Loompa. Oh, people are showing issues with glue. Oh, okay. So somebody wrote, somebody posted my video about Virginie and said, this is a really interesting video. Dacob is saying he believes this was the plan for a while, and he predicts Chanel is planning to go public. There you go. Thank you. And then somebody else says, didn't someone speculate about this because the owners have a diverse portfolio of companies and this is an outlier being a fashion brand to maintain ownership of or something? Or am I having another senior moment? I guess Dacob also predicted Virginie's departure and believes this has been in motion for a while. I didn't say it's been in motion for a while, though. Stating Leena's public praises for Virginie and the growth of ready-to-wear under her were all strategic, proactive PR statements to prep for her departure. Yes, I do believe that the more corporations publicly praise you for working for them, and the more you should be worried that they're about to sack you in some way, shape, or form, because it's always very, very sus when high-tier corporation managers, CEOs praise an individual that's working under them. That's never actually going to... then somebody else commented, Leena is the bigger problem, no? And then somebody else replied to that, I agree. She doesn't even understand how the clothing is made. She has embarrassed herself in interviews, yeah. I watched the entire Dacob video, very, very interesting and thoughtful. Oh, thank you. Though Jacques Mousse, I know, right? Tell me about it. Also, he was disgusted by this idea too, but what he had heard through the French fashion grapevine, yeah. I got quite a bit of people sending me Paris fashion intel about Jacques Mousse. So there you go, guys. Such a mess. Such a mess. Such a mess. Right, Terry? No, I agree with you. Teresa says he doesn't deserve a moment's thought, but he's so off base. He's flying out in the stratosphere. No, I agree, Terry, but I thought it was a little bit funny to have this moment, comedic relief together, because he obviously watches. If he keeps watching, if he keeps commenting on the Purse Forum about, he knows exactly what I say in every video. So there you go. Lovely. David Marr says, I'll bet it's the Baconada, right? Sibylla says, if you dislike Dacob so much, then don't watch him and don't write comments on his channel that don't contribute anything. Have a life and chill. I agree with you. Neha Vas says, yep, got it. Weird fella. Right, Neha? We'll go. Manti says, we found Leena's secret account. Oh my God, Manti. We found Leena's secret account. Y'all, I can't. Yvonne says, so he sounds like a person who was rejected by a friend request. Well, not mine. I mean, because my Super Dacob backup profile is public. It's not private. So, but my Dacob CC profile is private. But there, I don't know. You could always make a fake profile, right? And then request to follow. Who knows? He sounds like a person who was rejected, right? The Nectarine Man says, so wait, this hater was in a chit-chat forum complaining about gossip? Yes, Nectarine Man, this person is gossiping right now while we are talking in a live stream. He's gossiping about this in the forum.
Love your analytical mind.
Thank you so much, Anna. Very kind of you. Thank you for supporting the Fashion Bunker. Hit it, Bubbles. Yes, Quins. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. It means the world to me. But yes, the Nectarine Man, that's exactly what we'll go. He used to be in the chats here. And then I guess the mods blocked him because he was a hater. Because he posted a screenshot. Oh, no, he used to be in the comments, not in the chats. He used to be in the comments. Oh, he posted a screenshot of me replying to him. He has a different name on YouTube, I see. Wait, should I read the whole thing? It's really long. He shared screenshots of him sending, leaving comments, like biblical proportion comments. And I read, and I answered him, and I replied to his comment. I even gave him the attention, but he wanted more than attention, I suppose. Kate Moore says, I'm surprised how many people love Simon's work and say it's the coolest thing in the world. Oh, Jacques Mousse? Please. I mean, I understand how some people might find him attractive, and so it's the thirst trap thing that makes you think you also like what he designs because you want to like him, you know? But no. Evian, we're not going to say the name publicly. We don't do that, for obvious reasons. Mahora says, shout out to its family, right? Nectarine Man says, well, let him continue. You get content, we get laughs, he gets upset. Everybody wins. Blue Egyptian Lotus says, biblical proportion comments. Yes, Blue Egyptian Lotus. Stanley says, Dacob is frozen. Oh, am I moving again? We don't dox names here for sanity reasons. Exactly, Yvonne. Exactly. Stanley says, is the video frozen, guys? I understand. Thank you, Yvonne. Deborah says, fast track that MacBook Pro. I know, it's on its way, y'all. It's on its way. Terry is on it. At one point, I collapsed after the live stream. We were talking, and at one point, I fainted. I gotta sleep. So I wake up, and the first thing I do is I check. I'm like, oh no, I fell asleep like Terry. I check. Terry is on it. She's like, Dacob, here's the photo. I printed the tag. Sending it off. This is, the shipping tag. She was on it. I woke up and Terry was already, y'all. Oh, yeah. So it will be here really, really, really soon, the computer. Oh, Stanley says he's moving again, LOL. I'm alive. Yeah, I'm moving again. Whoop, 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 whoop. Are my hands moving? Terry says it'll be there tomorrow. Super excited. Imagine hate watching for years and tuning into today's stream with everyone laughing at his comments. I know, right? Such a pip. Oh, those were the days. Oh, well. It is what it is. As for Chanel, I want to say I really don't think there's anybody at the moment who can take over Chanel and do Coco justice. Really. I think Leena should beg Virginie for forgiveness, ask her to come back, and wait until the right successor to the throne of Chanel appears. Because of the people at the moment, a lot of them are really talented. I'm not saying that there's not great designers out there. There's wonderful designers out there, but none of them is Chanel material for me. And don't get me wrong, whoever gets the job, they're going to do, they're going to do an okay job. They're going to make the camellias, they're going to do the 4-pocket jackets, they're going to do the Chanel DNA as much as they can. They're going to do something, It's easy to copy Chanel DNA, but it's not easy to be originally Chanel. And Virginie Viard is an original Chanel. Whoever comes after her is going to be a copy. So the right person is not there yet. This is a problem. So in my opinion, the best would be for Chanel to hire their internal team who's been working with Virginie to keep going as long as they can until the right person appears. Hi, 5'0". How's it going, sweetie? Oh, Mahora says close down fashion and do beauty only. Or that, which they would never do. But 5'0". Hi, everyone. Wasn't expecting a live today. This is a nice surprise. What have I missed? Oh, sweetie. I know. It was a last-minute decision because there's like news on Chanel, so I just shared all those news, and that's why we're here. Deborah C. says, Leena may get the chop if she keeps this up. Or she gives everybody else the chop, and then there's nobody left to give her the chop, so she doesn't get the chop. Maybe that's how she thinks it works. I don't know. The Nectarine Man says, I love the romance of Simon Rocha's work, but I think Chanel is too soon for her. Simon Rocha. Pat, hi Pat. Sarah Burton could do Coco justice. She had her own original McQueen after all. Okay, well, yeah, I don't see her at Chanel, you guys. I think she would struggle at Chanel, doing 10 collections a year, and I don't know. Deborah C. says, if enough talent leaves Chanel, then the problem is Leena. But a lot of people are leaving Chanel, Deborah. Just these 2 years since Leena took over, a ton of like Chanel, old school, Chanel workers have left. Ask yourself why. Yeah, Terry, it's really hard to replace so many years of service. Manti says, no matter who steps in right now, Coco's vision is gone forever. Not forever. I still have hope that one day the right person will come. Hey, some people believe in reincarnation. Maybe Coco will come back herself. Well, we'll go. Chanel had better be careful with their company. Before long, they'll be like Shein or Temu. It can happen. Never say never. Blue Egyptian Lotus says, I don't want a designer that has hopped fashion houses at Chanel. Right? It just feels, I know what you mean. It's being hollowed out, says Deborah, the anorexic organization. Nothing is left. It's like termites have eaten the whole building at the fundaments. Fashion luxury world being the building built out of wood, and the termites have been eating it up, and it's all going to collapse any second now. Better evacuate the building before it falls on top of us. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Yeah. There you go. I hope you guys had fun. Tut says toxic work environment when a lot of people leave in one go within a short time span. It's obvious why. Something is happening. We're going to get to the bottom of this. It might take us a while, But every time new info or intel leaks, I'm definitely going to come here to share it with you. Let me just check if I got any new. So, check and check. Okay, no, we have no new intel from Paris at the moment, even though they opened their offices. Oh, thank you, 5'0". Your hair looks amazing today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying to see. You have the little hair going on here, the back. There's a lot of hair. And I'm trying to kind of switch up the hairdos to make it very clear in the thumbnails that even though we have Virginie in several thumbnails now, that it's always a different video because I'm different. So people don't think they've already watched that video. Oh, that was a perfect analogy. Thank you, Blue Egyptian Lotus. Yeah, the house with the termites. I'm just trying to see. If something is happening in Paris. On the weekend, I spoke to a beauty boutique sales associate that was previously also worked in a fashion boutique, and they all say that the quality is horrible and that they hope now with the resigning of Virginie, it will get better. But this makes no sense. Virginie doesn't get to choose. I mean, she's not making the materials, you guys. Oh. Chanel, I mean, the sourcing of the materials, it's also a budgeting issue. Why would you think, why would anybody think now that Virginie is gone that the materials are going to get better quality? Why? If Leena Nair wants to keep cutting costs, if Leena Nair wants to maximize profits, then you understand that it would be in Leena's interest to have lower quality materials that cost less to manufacture product. So the fact that Virginie has left is not going to change the quality of the materials. If the management is still aiming at maximizing profits, they're going to keep buying cheap materials to maximize profits. Astrid says, I know, I told her too, but I think they are also quite desperate. She told me some stories about quality issues. It's not funny anymore. Quality issues are definitely there. The leather, like I keep repeating, in my humble opinion, is really not happening anymore with Chanel. But also, you guys, I got a little bit more intel from my source, sharing information about how Chanel also is very snobby when it comes to their own internal organization and compartmentalization of the different levels and tiers within Chanel. So they're not only, pardon me, oh, bless you, thank you. They're not only being very iffy with how they classify you as a customer, if you're a VIP, elite, entry level, blah, 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 blah. Apparently also, muchas gracias, Danny. Also, they're probably doing that internally, meaning, so what she told me, okay, more shade. Let's drop more shade. My hair is all messed. My bun. Okay, so you know how corporate, and this is also, I hate when corporations do this. You know when they do like, all the teams are going to meet together on the weekend, team building. So we're going to all go in nature and we're all going to jog together. We're going to do a marathon together. You know when the corporations do that crap. I hate when they do that. So Chanel did that allegedly as well. And they had their fashion team and beauty team going out on a picnic to do a little running, a little marathon. Okay. And there was food prepared for them. And basically, when you're done with the run, there's like catering prepared. Yeah, the retreat. That's right, Love DIY. The retreat. Yvonne says, it's like if you design a gown in silk taffeta, the company instead goes for a cheaper polyester. It doesn't fit the overall design. Virginie must have been going mad at the quality control over her. This is one of the reasons why I think she probably added reason why she potentially, allegedly left. Nadine says, hi, Dacob. Hope you're well. Just joining the live. You look fine. Thank you, Nadine. I'm well. I hope you're well too, sweetie. No, Virginie did not design all the bags herself. Blue Egyptian Lotus. No. Okay, Yab is asking, did they get food poisoning with all the budget cuts? No. Here's what happened. Although, I don't know about the food poisoning, but here's what happened. So, they're all, there have been these rumors for years. I remember my sales associates also at the beauty boutique saying, yeah, we're considered lower class, lower tier, like Chanel fashion boutiques are the upper echelon, and the beauty boutiques are snubbed by the fashion boutiques, allegedly, right? They're deemed to be lower category. Lower level. So, apparently, this snobbery seeps into also their interactions between the teams. This kind of attitude of like, oh, I work for Chanel Fashion and you just work for beauty? Aw. So now, when they went to this retreat and they did the jogging with the food prepared for them for when they're done, so first apparently went the fashion team. Again, they separated them for some reason. And then the beauty team. Of course, fashion team gets to do stuff first. When they arrived at destination, they ate all the food. So they did not think to leave any food for the beauty team. So by the time the beauty team was done with their jog, there was no food left. This is how much consideration was placed to the beauty team, which breaks my heart. Mandy says, vultures. Danny says, that's effed up. LOL says 5 foot nothing. So this is, of course, alleged. I got this email as well with that information. That's super sad. Blue Egyptian Lotus says, not the Spring Summer 22 heart bags. So many people say she loves hearts. I wonder then who designed those. I mean, Blue Egyptian Lotus, it's very simple. You know, she could have said, let's design a heart bag. Then the bag department comes up with certain styles. And then she says, oh, I like this. I like that. That one I don't like. Maybe combine this with this, put these together. That's how I think it went. Yes, Taddy Boy, Pierpaolo Piccioli speculated to be running for the position as well. Yeah, I've heard those news as well. No consideration for others, Terry. And so this was really sad to hear. So there's that as well. So internally, they're kind of going through stuff. Sorority girl meanness, for shame. If I were there, I'd be ordering takeout. I mean, Yvonne, I would be really hungry. Could you imagine, like, first of all, they force you to do these stupid corporate retreats, which I hate. And then you got to do you run the whole course. team building, you're exhausted, you're sweaty, you're hot, you look like shite, you're hungry, you're thirsty. And then you arrive at destination and they're like, oh, so sorry. The fashion team already ate all the food.
Disgusting!
Disgusting. So you're not, well, you're going to have to wait another couple of hours till the dinner retreat. You know, those people got hangry. Hungry, angry, hangry. I would have gotten really upset. No food left and I'm exhausted and I've just been burning calories, running my butt off for the entire course. This is why I say if you are working in a corporate environment and they're making you do the retreat, always bring your own food, period. Bring your own food sealed, in bags, bring yourself snacks. And if they see you, they're like, no, don't worry. We got you covered with the food. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. I know you got me covered with the food. But just in case, I brought my own as well. Hi, Meowsers. Good morning from Florida. Good morning to you, sweetie. 5 Foot Nothing says the sensible thing to do would have been to save half for the other team. Of course it would have been sensible to do, and they knew. They knew that the other team was coming after them. And they still ate the whole thing. Or most of it. Kate Moore says, I hate those retreats. Me too. That's the epitome of tacky, says Love DIY. El Boogie, how's it going, sweetie? Glad you're with us. Kate Moore says, hate those retreats. It's the Chanel Hunger Games, says Danny. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. And another thing, I have never received so many emails from all of the Chanel boutiques that I've been to in my life. They ignore me usually if I don't keep spending on a regular, Now, they're all writing me. Hey, look, here's photos of the collection. Oh my God, oh my God. Would you like a catalog? Would you like to come by? Would you like to experience the new collection? Would you like to see the stuff? Would you like to talk about it? I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. We have a lot of time on our hands now all of a sudden, do we? So that's to me lovely. I love the attention. I love how kind they are to me all at once. But of course, I am aware of the fact that they're doing this because they need to make sales, right? So obviously, if they have more time to contact those clients that are not usually the big spenders, then shit going down. Then they need the money, honey. El Boogie says, I missed Saturday's live. Glad to be able to catch a live. Love your brooch. Thank you, El Boogie. It's a cutie. This is from the Métier d'Art Le 19M. It's a Goussens brooch. It is a Maltese cross. It's very heavy, very chunky. Poured glass in the center with a double C, and then you got these huge crystals, rose crystals on the sides, and then you got glass pearls. It's quite heavy too. Big and heavy, chunky and heavy, chunky and funky. This live is fabulous, Dacob. You always are amazing. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lori. SH, well, yeah, they ignore you, Dacob. Let me explain, SH. So when you're back in the day, when Carl was alive, and also during the pandemic, really, because people were spending a lot of money at Chanel, the sales associates had a lot of earnings. They were selling a lot. So if you could not buy more than other clients, then the sales associate didn't have as much time for you. They would spend more time with the big spenders, right? But now that less and less people are spending, now the sales associates have more time. So now they're rediscovering those clients that were not huge spenders. People at Chanel would spend easily $30,000 a week. Like that. A week. So obviously, when you have a ton of those clients, like let's say you got 20 customers in your roster as a sales associate, your 20 clients are the $30,000 a week spenders. You're going to be really busy with them. And if you're really busy with them, you're not going to have much time to just write me. You're not going to have the time. They answer me. Like if I write them, I send them a photo of a product. I'm like, hey, do you have this? They will answer. But they're not proactive in initiating a conversation with me because I'm not a big spender. But now they have become proactive. Now they are initiating the conversation with me from the fashion boutiques, from the fashion. I think, D. Higginbotham, that Chanel is starting to feel the pinch in the economy. Yeah. Yeah. Blue Egyptian Lotus, the brooch is from the Métier d'Art Le 19M collection. So that was 2022, 2023. It was the one Métier d'Art before the Dakar Métier d'Art. So Dakar was 23, 24. Yeah. So it was 2022, 2023. Yeah. Métier d'Art 2022/2023. That's where this brooch is from. Grace Chen. Hi, guys. Secret Live. It's not a secret live. It was just last minute because there was new Chanel intel. So I wanted to share them with you guys. Teresa McGuire says, there are no boutiques in Oklahoma, so I buy all my stuff from Chanel online. And usually you have to buy in store to get special attention. But lately I'm getting invitations to early launches. Yeah, that's really good, Terry. Really, really good. At least they're kind of stepping that up. Yeah. And you've never used a sales associate. Yeah, but this is for beauty. But I'm talking about the fashion boutiques, never contacting me really earlier. Now they are because they need the money now, you know. So yeah, really, but they go on about their profits. I know, Karina, but that's what we were talking about earlier in this live stream. The profits, you can make stuff appear better than it really is. You can cook the numbers in a way, allegedly. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. So there you have it. There you have it, you guys. There you have it. Let me check if there's any news coming in. No. Okay. I'll be with you on Wednesday. Thank you to the mods for keeping us safe today. Hit it, Bubbles.
A special thanks to the mods in the fashion bunker. Thanks to Debbie, Jesus, Creation, Nicole, Keds, and Gloria. Bubbles loves you.
And we're going to update the song to add Terry to the song. Terry has become a mod yesterday, and today we're live streaming again, so there was no time to update the song. So Terry, the updated song is coming. It'll take a while, but it's coming, baby. So thank you, guys. So, Aisha, I'm glad you're still with us. Terry is still with us. So we got two mods still with us. I think Audrey might still be around, maybe, but she was really busy today. And then Mahora probably had to rush out to go to work. And Gloria is probably sleepy, and Debbie is also sleepy, justly so. It's really, really late, so totally understandable that they are knocked out, especially after yesterday's live stream. I think we are all completely knocked out because yesterday we had 2 live streams. Don't forget, for all the Tier 1 and Tier 2 members, every Saturday there's a special exclusive live stream in the green room as we get ready together for the main show. So we have like 2 to 3 hours together live streaming in the green room of the Fashion Bunker, and then we go to do the main show later on, public for everyone. So that's 2 live streams on a Saturday. Usually I'm working like 12 to 13 hours on a Saturday, so I'm exhausted on a Sunday. So for me to start getting ready on a Sunday to live stream again, it's a lot. So let's see. Hopefully I'll manage to live stream on this coming Wednesday. If not, you know it's because today took. Today took, honey. So let's see if I manage to recuperate some energy by Wednesday. And of course, if there's more news, we're going to jump on here again, obviously. But thank you guys so much for your love and support. And we'll go next. Hit it, Bubbles.
Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go, would go.
love that. We'll go emojis everywhere. Yes, Quins. Thank you for today, says Evian. Great topic and conversation as usual with you, Dacob. Have a great week and see you. See you too, sweetie. See you very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, you guys. Actually, no, beginning of new week. Have a wonderful beginning of the new week. This Monday. Oh, hi. I'm blessed. Hey, sweetie. Lori says, see you Wednesday, Dacob. Thank you, Lori. No pressure. Thank you. Oh, hi, Justin. Irina van Ronkel. Hey, sweetie. And we are living ferret next. While I fix my hair and make something new. Oh.
I'm living ferret, living ferret. Living ferret, living ferret. Living ferret, living ferret.
We're living ferret, baby. I'm trying to do the Ariana Grande, but I don't have a thing here to... My God, my hair is so long. Oh, we could do this. Should we do an 80s moment? Should we do an 80s moment? Hold on. We love this. Cha, really? Okay, why not? Or should we do it? Oh. Wait, should we do... No, you know what I want to do? Hold on. Wait, hold on, you guys. I want to do all the hair to the front. And then I want to try to do the Blade Runner. Yeah, I don't see much of anything. What are we doing here?
Dork side!
I know, it's very dork sad, very The Ring. Wait, hold on, you guys. Let me try to do... Tangle teaser, tangle teaser. Ow. Come through, knotted hair. Ciao, Eleonora. So happy to catch a stream. I'm like, oh my God. You see, if I had the... Because I want to have this, right? Oh my gosh, such a mess. Okay, hold on. We'll get there. Or not. This is not working. I wanted this. Wait, maybe if we hold it up. Yes, I want the Victorian Cocoa era, exactly. Oh, I lost the hair back here. I mean, it's a vibe. You know, and then we tie it up here. No? Of course, I could make the fringe be a little bit more perfect on this end. I think it's fabulous. I think it's fabulous.
Very sexy.
Yes. Okay, it's eating, right? I'm telling you, you just gotta, it takes some time. Now we can pin the hair. I don't have like pins now, like to pin this part. You can make it tighter here. And then you do this. Okay, I got you. I got you. Ooh, you know what lippy we're gonna do? We're gonna do a historic MAC lipstick. We're gonna do a historic MAC, because I was thinking like, oh, we could do 255, but no. We're gonna do a historic MAC lipstick from the 80s. We're gonna do 301 or 0. So you can't see it. Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, Naomi Campbell. Those were the days. We're going to do 0. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Look at this. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, look at that.
And I'm going to go over the lip. Yeah, just to make it more dramatic. Yeah, you see? And then we have to clip this. I mean, it's a vibe. And then, of course, what we have to like accentuate while we're at it is a lot more blush. Like we're talking blush. It is Blue Egyptian Lotus. 301 is still in production. Thank you, Terry. Terry says gorgeous. We're gonna do this one, this blush here. Like a lot of it. Okay, it's a scratcha moment. Vel knows this is it. We gotta scratch off the surface of this because it keeps being too compact. So we have to scratch the surface off to get more product. Okay, now let's see. Like we need major blush. And we're gonna go all the way here. Yeah. Come on, Kevin Aquan. Come on, Kevin Aquan. Okay, I went too far here. Doesn't matter. You can blend it, you can fix it, but basically, Manti says, I think 3 live streams is getting to him. Cha. Well, fabulous, right? 5 foot nothing. Why can't we be a little theatrical from time to time? Must we always look so conservative? Must we? Reminds me of the makeup from a fashion shoot I did with Cindy Crawford when I was a wee lass. Oh, Danny, darling, the fabulosity. Our Edwardian queen. And then we lifted here the hair and we tie it up a little. The eyes get a little slant. So, Oh, let's do thumbnails. Hold on. We'll retouch them. That's what Photoshop is for. So anyway, there you go. Pin-up Quinn, right, Terry? Did we do Live in Ferret? Let's do Die in Ferret next. Yeah, we did Live in Ferret. Hit it, Bubbles. Oh, how Edwardian. Oh, darling, look at us. We are so ready for this. Then we fluff up the hair. Look at this. Yes. Yes, I say yes. I say 1,000 times yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Ravage me. Ravage me, savage. I really need to tighten up the grip here, and then you get the... Okay, wait, what do we... Okay, let's lift this up and do a photo. Mm, mm, mm. We did it, Joe. And Baby Yoda. Hey, Queen. Transparent Queen. How's it going, Baby Yoda? I wish I could have a... We don't really have a wig for you, or I can't do your hairdo as well, but yeah, there you go. Baby Yoda, invisible Baby Yoda playing the Arnold Schwarzenegger role movie as Predator. Predator Baby Yoda. Right, Terry? 40s popular hairstyle. That's why I was referencing Blade Runner, because of that 40s reference hairdo in Blade Runner. Are you ready to sing your song? Woo, look at us. Look at us. Oh, wow. Now it's getting more 80s again. When early 80s were referencing the Edwardian era, but then they would do it a little bit looser. They would kind of cover the eyebrows as well. Okay, this is a little bit too much, but... Yeah, now it's getting more punky, you know? Wait, hold on. If I could grab it. Yo, data. You're dating my dad. Oh, there you go. Oh, photo, baby. Okay. Mm-hmm. Serving somehow Jessica Rabbit vibes, but in a alternate parallel universe, perchance. Chucky, long time no see, by the way. Did Yoda eat her yet? Oh, hey, Zach, yeah, so... Chucky. No, so Chucky's, well, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda usually eats Chucky and then poops Chucky out again. But I know Chucky's there. Chucky is there, part of our team. Baby Yoda, you want to sing cha-cha-cha-cha for the peeps in the bunker? Hit it, Baby Yoda.
Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao.
And off he goes. So you guys, I hope you had fun today together in the fashion bunker. And I hope to see you all in the next live stream. And until then, as usual, thumb up this one. Share the love with everybody. Oh, quick note before we end it. It is Pride Month. And I just want to say a couple of things. One, I've been watching a lot of documentaries lately. One of them being a really interesting one about Mark Patton, who was the main actor in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. He was kind of the first male scream queen, and Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger Part 2 is a very, very, it has a very, well, for today's standards, you wouldn't even say it's a subtext, a homosexual subtext. It's very much in your face. But this was during the AIDS pandemic, and so a lot happened. And the main actor, Mark Patton, who was not openly gay, but is gay, is now openly gay, and he is now an activist. But his career completely flopped because the movie was deemed too gay, and the writer apparently said, well, the movie was not written as gay, but because the actor was way too gay, that's why the movie appeared to be gay. So it was all a big mess. And then he disappeared like Greta Garbo. He left the movie industry. Nobody could find him for decades. He was hiding somewhere in Mexico. And they found him. They hired, for another documentary they were filming, they hired a private investigator who found him. And then he came back to America and started giving interviews. And very, very fascinating to see that the story that he shares. He was dating this guy back then in secret. And the guy was a big star on Dallas, the TV show. But then he got really sick. So he got the virus and he passed away. Mark also got the virus. Mark survived, thankfully, but he went through a terrible time, pneumonia and dealing with the white blood cells count. You know, he got full-blown AIDS. He survived because the cocktail treatment just shortly thereafter, his breakout of the disease was made available. However, the problem with him was they first needed to treat the pneumonia before they could start using the cocktail on him. And so it took, he has been through a lot. But he said the first person that gave him advice, good advice, in the entertainment industry was Cher. Cher was nice to him, kind to him. And Cher told him, Mark, always do what makes you happy because everybody else in this business only cares about themselves. They're going to do what makes them happy. You do what makes you happy. And then I watched another documentary where another guy who was not gay, but kind of also disappeared. He comes from the music industry. I forgot his name. Bernie? Was his name Bernie? Big in LA, discovered, kind of brought all the British singers to LA and made them really famous. When nobody would be playing their songs on the radio, he would be playing their songs. Like also Blondie, he was the one who pushed Blondie to become huge. Also one of the first ones to discover in America, Oasis, and so on. Anyway, he was big friends with the Beatles. He was friends with Elvis Presley. When he had no place to stay in LA, Cher and Sonny took him in, and he lived with them, and they helped him. And again, just within several days, I watched a second documentary where somebody's thanking Cher for being so kind. And she even came into that documentary hugging him, talking about him. She's talking to him like he's her kid. Incredible. Incredible. And then I watched another documentary about Kevin Aucoin. Kevin Aucoin, the famous makeup artist who revolutionized the makeup industry. And makeup and all this glamorous kind of style we're trying to emulate here. It's thanks to Kevin Aucoin, really. I'm not even light years near to where he was, but it's trying to give Kevin Aucoin. But guess what? Guess what? Kevin Aucoin had a very, very debilitating disease. He had a cancer that would stimulate his growth cells. So he kept growing. His bones kept growing. His limbs kept growing. His cartilage kept growing. No doctor diagnosed him. Cher diagnosed him. Let that sink in. Cher was like, oh my God, I think you might have this disease. Let me hook you up with one of my doctors. And then they diagnosed him properly. Then he got treatment. They got rid of the cancer. By then it was too late because he was already hooked on painkillers. But the painkillers is what took him at the end. But again, Cher diagnosed him, helped him. Within 2 days of me watching all these wonderful, wonderful documentaries, Cher was in all three of them. And all three of these people, she helped them without asking anything in return. She stood by them. She even diagnosed them. You guys, Cher is the real deal. She's a class act. She's a class act. A class act. Class act. And also the two film directors that made the documentary on Pierre Cardin, the ones that contacted me if they could take my video to put it in their movie. And of course I said yes, and I did not ask for any money. Before they made the Pierre Cardin documentary, they made a documentary about Cher. And they also only had the most beautiful, wonderful things to share about Cher, So there's a little positive thing for you guys. There's somebody in the entertainment industry who really has a heart, who really has the heart in the right place, and who has a soul, and also wonderful acceptance for our very colorful LGBTQ plus UYTUW community. We don't only have all the colors of the rainbow, we also have all the letters of the alphabet, honey. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So Cher, Chaz, Cher's son, also not just an ally, but a part of our community. So you can imagine, Cher is the bomb diggity, you guys. Love DIY says she's a beautiful soul and was very controversial when Chaz transitioned. He came to us for support and they worked it out. Fabulous. You see, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I have the book Making Faces. I got in my modeling day. Oh man, Terry, what a wonderful book, right? And Kevin Aquan, he did several books, but they're all gorgeous. They're all wonderful books. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Happy Pride Month, you guys. And thank you so much for being with us here in the bunker, spending some time together, sharing the love, sharing the controversy, yes, sharing the gossip, sharing the laughter, the joy, and the tears, our love and passion for fashion, little rhyme, perfumes, and all things cutesy, And sometimes we also like a good horror movie, don't we? There you go. Pop culture galore. We must have one another in our hearts. You best believe, Danny. I'm lost now. What day is it, says Heaven? Darling, it's Monday, I think. Vel says, thanks for the live, Quinn. Thank you for tuning in, Vel. Hev says, I woke up to Dacob on my screen. I know, Heaven. I'm like Freddy Krueger. I'm always there in the dreams. Hopefully good ones. Until next time, you guys, never give up on love. I love you loads. See you all in the next live stream. Bye. Hold on. We got breaking news from Paris. 23 minutes ago, thieves ram raid Chanel store in Paris. This is ABC CBN News reporting. Several thieves used a car early Monday morning to ram raid a Chanel store near the Champs-Élysées Avenue in Paris before setting it on fire and fleeing in another vehicle, a police source said. The smash and grab took place at around 5:15 a.m. at Avenue Montaigne, according to the police source, who added that the extent of the damage had yet to be determined. The individuals used the first vehicle to enter the establishment, smashing the window before fleeing in a second vehicle, taking some of the shop's merchandise with them, the source added. The criminals set fire to the ram car before fleeing, but firefighters brought the blaze under control, the police source said. According to a source close to the case, 4 people are suspected of having taken part in the attack. The value of damage and losses was being assessed, the public prosecutor said. In May, robbers armed with a long weapon snatched jewels from the Harry Winston shop near the Champs-Élysées before making their escape on motorbikes. The suspects are still at large, and the loss is estimated at being 6 million and 10 million euros. That's $6.5 million. And $10.8 million, according to a source close to the investigation. In the northern French city of Lille, thieves repeatedly ram-raided luxury stores to steal handbags and other valuables last year as well. Well. Ha! Virginie the punk! She's such punk. She's like, yeah, let me ransack this stove. No, it was not Virginie, but you never know. Danny says, the smoke destroys everything. How poetic. It's all happening now, says Manti. There you go. Breaking news at the end of the live stream. Nathan says, that's also a way to go shopping. Danny says, damn. And just like that, the ramming was over. See you all in the next live stream. Love you loads. Take care. Never give up on love. Bye.